All right. It's the grand finals of ESL NA Weekly number 133. That's right. Normally hosted on the NA server, but when two of the best Koreans come in and smash everybody while those Americans are still traveling home from Home Story Cup, you end up with Shopify Rebellion's Byun up against Dragon Phoenix Gaming's Dark. Neeb and Australia, of course, have just been over there in Korea, or in Germany, I should say, over in Krefeld playing Home Story, so they're not here to contest those top ones. Scarlet not playing today either. But good to see these two playing. Dark has looked incredible so far. Byun looked really good as well, but I think he came through an easier side of the bracket. Dark came from the side with Max Pax, Cure, and a bunch of other really top dogs. Careful, Dark. Almost loses a drone there. Oh, he will. He goes down. Good focus by Byun. Great start here on Inside Out. Now, it's a pretty quick third base there for Dark. He's delayed his link speed a little, so good play by him. The Reaper's still looking for some pickoffs. So that was 6 Zerglings built by Dark, and he still loses a drone. That is a horrendous opening for Dark. That's really bad, guys, because he's already killed a drone by building 2 extra Zerglings. Like, he's denied himself a drone, and he's lost a drone despite overcommitting to the defense. He goes for the old let's hope you're not watching maneuver. Byun says, I'm not an idiot, I am watching. And he's going 3cc. Very greedy build here for Byun. Byun is shit-talking him. Oh, if anyone can translate that in the Twitch chat, please do. I'm on a 2-minute delay, so it might take a little while, but please let me know in Twitch chat what that says. Now, usually, whenever this happens, about 10 people translate, and one of them is correct or 2, and all the others are lying. So, yeah, we'll see if we can figure out which one we think it is. I'm pretty sure he was like, lol, you noob. And Dark was like, yeah, GG, whatever, you piece of shit. My translations are definitely a thing of beauty. Very accurate, guys. Stim's on the way. Marine second gas goes down. And I do expect extra barracks before Starport. Because the Starport's not down yet. Yeah. Now, I actually thought he'd build it and then float it onto the Starport there. Onto that reactor, sorry. But looks like, no. He's going to go build the reactor next to that barracks. Interesting. So far, the units lost tab just showing that one drone, nothing else other than a cancelled something or other. Orbital's on the way, and 3rd barracks on the reactor, in fact. Wow, so 3 barracks before Starport. Fascinating. So Byun is basically going to play like a 3-Rex bio medevac follow-up. It's not the 2-1-1, but yeah, still skipping straight to the mass marine stage of the game. Now, there is a chance he goes for like a mass held-back marine timing with this. I don't think he will. I think that's pretty out there. Just an idea floating around my head. Overlord pokes in, doesn't see the 3rd command center, and it dies. Oof. So Dark's very blind right now. He hasn't seen the fact that these depots on the natural started really late after 4 minutes, which would be a big tell of the fact that there's a 3rd command center. Otherwise, they need to start those depots closer to 3 minutes 30. And Baneling Nest does go down, so he's building some safety precautions because he doesn't know what's happening. And Dark is on 7 queens, going to go to 9 queens. He starts a Spore in his main and his natural, but not his 3rd at 4 minutes 50. So those are like anti-battle cruiser Spore timings. Maybe there for Cloaked Banshees, but the fact that he didn't build one in his 3rd is so weird. He's going to come in here. Sees a lot of Marines. Still hasn't seen the 3rd command center. But I think seeing that wall off, he should be aware of it. Because otherwise the depot wall would be way further along. Lair does start up for Dark. He's got a 2nd gas and a 3rd gas coming on in. Queens are there on the right side. He's starting to break these rocks. Very important to break these rocks as a Zerg player. Otherwise, it's it's hard to move around the map. If you could break those rocks as well, that'd be fantastic. 4th hatchery at 5:30. Double Evo chamber goes down, and a macro hatchery. Dark is a big fan of the macro hatches. Recently, he's improved his lava inject, so he's usually only going 1 macro hatch. He used to go 2 or 3 every game. Now he only does it if the game gets really messy. Oh, look at that! He uses friendly fire in the Reaper to get the tumor with the splash damage. Even though he couldn't see it, he knew where it was. And that was really sick there. 4 Hellion shots, not quite able to kill a Reaper. Does take him out of action for a little while, though. 1-1 upgrades are on the way. They're already 80 seconds complete for Byun. If Byun can start that armory in a moment, he can go straight into 2-2, but already a bit of a delay on that. There we go. Armory does start up on that 3rd base. This is 23 Marines, 2 medevacs, 4 Hellions, and a Reaper. Those Hellions on the right side. If he sends a medevac there or uses a scan, he can push him back from the rocks. And actually, Byun says, hey, I'd like to push with that. Oh, this tumor evading him, though. That's really good for Dark. Keeping a tumor out behind all of this that can spread backwards and reconnect things. Just be harder to deal with. He's got another tumor down there as well, same story. But Byun is already clearing what he wants to do his push path. He wants to put tanks here, tanks up there. Or actually, no, he's going Widowmine production right now, so it's going to be just more of a Widowmine bio parade style. Second factory will get the tech lab at the front. Notice he doesn't need a 6th gas geyser. If you're not building tanks, you don't need so much gas. He still hasn't started 2-2 though, and that is a bit of a travesty. From ahead 80 seconds to only ahead about 50 seconds on the upgrades. 4th and 5th reactor are coming up. Combat shields is finished, so he did remember that upgrade. 71 workers for Dark. Doesn't seem too spectacular. And not injecting the hatcheries in his main base. Let's see if he's queued these up. He really should be queuing up multiple injects on these. Tries to respread some creep on the front, but that tumor that tried to spread back does get taken out. There's still one more tumor down to the right, and the creep all over the other sides is great. So I don't think Dark cares about losing this base as long as Byun has to invest a lot of resources and time to deny it. That way Dark can just expand to the top left, cancel this one, and Byun realizing, okay, I can't just push the same angle all game. Very effective scan, clears a big dent in the creep, and it's a small map inside out. It's a map that should favor Byun. Drop picks up, moves to the left. Marines stimming in on the right. They will see a lot of Ling Bane there. Byun is going to do some nice starter step. He's got to get out. Oof. All right, Hellbats get some decent shots off. Marines in the top just moving around the double drop there. So he's basically got a double drop on the left, a double drop in the main, does Byun. He's trying to work that angle as best he can. Gets a couple drones, and he should be able to take these Banes out as well. He's going to lose a medevac. Ah, that's a bummer. Saves 4 of those Marines. Banelings are morphing in the main base. And it looks like, wow, is he F2ing down the left side by the looks of it? Widowmine's trying to set up there. Dark, very busy though. Looks like these Marines in the main base somehow were still alive through all that. Ooh, Banelings. Okay, the Widowmine gets set off there. These Marines are not long for this world. They do get picked up though, most of them, and saved. And there are more Widowmines behind that. There's this line of Widowmines down the left flank of the map. Redrop in the main base will get taken out. He's going to drain a bit of transfuse energy. That's all he can do there, unfortunately. He tries to focus down the drones. He gets 2 of those. That is a better target. Transfuse not so effective on those drones. And up to 8 barracks is Byun. His 4th command center is morphing into a planetary. Feels like a good situation to be in as Byun, but 80 workers are now finally here for Mr. Dark. Widowmine drop on the left side. He's going to send a triple drop down the right side. And everything else is just going to slow push, I think, down the left or the middle. The creep spread sucks for Dark right now. This is one of Dark's problems, is he always puts all of his queens on one control group. So if you pull him back enough, he will pull every queen back to defend, and that means he's not respreading creep on the front. So Dark has these big, abusable kind of windows in his momentum just because he doesn't multitask that quite right. And okay, he's going to triple drop the main, but with those spores there, it's very committed. He does take out both of them though, which means he does have a path out. 2 medevacs are still available. Widowmine gets a juicy hit, very nicely done. Drop on the left side getting cleaned up. Army shoving in the front at the same time. And I talked earlier about how Kua needed to push hard to take advantage of Dark's inefficient early and mid game. And Byun is doing just that. People were saying Dark 100% beats Byun here. And I was saying, guys, don't count your chickens until they've hatched, mate. Because this seriously shows just how powerful Byun is. He is so solid online. He's been smashing guys like Solar recently. And Solar is absolutely no joke. He's actually got a much tighter mid-game and early game than Dark. Dark has scrappy survival powers, though, and Dark is not dead yet. He loses his 4th. He loses another couple of buildings there, but he's already got extra ones built. This base went down, so he's only mining 1, 2, 3 bases, mostly minerals, no gas coming in, so he might run short on gas, but... Oh, you silly savage! You silly savage! Oh, my God! Oh my God, so many burrowed banelings. He wipes almost all the Marines. Byun, too busy microing in the main, was not watching. He's like, hey, where'd my army go, bro? And Dark, as always, one of the most clutch players who will not give up when he's behind. Now, that Widowmine there could be big, or it could do friendly fire. Oh, that was a big one. The Widowmine does get 18 kills, and it looks like he will be able to rally and defend. And with 4 bases established, I don't think even that burrowed banelings puts Dark in the lead. It keeps him alive. Keeps his hopes alive in this game. But remember, where's the creep tumors? He's trying to respread it, but he's still got tumors that aren't spreading consistently. Nothing spreading on the left. And there's still 3-3 on the way versus 2-2. The Hive's not finished. 5th command center and Ghosts coming in behind this. Does need to get rid of that tumor, which he's not going to. Bit of a problem. Dark also is tracking him with these 4 Marines. Like, yeah, we're just the boys hanging out with the boys. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Fuck Zerg, right? Am I right? I'm one of the boys. The other Marines and Marauders are looking sideways at them, but they haven't quite clued onto the fact that those are, in fact, changelings. Marines are going to go in the mineral line. Nice drop in the top left, denying mining. And the Marauder line up front is so hard for the Banelings to break through, but I think this is still a... Oh, my God. I was going to say a winning fight for Dark, but he just didn't quite have enough Banelings to force the Marines back. And look at that. He sends most of the medevacs home. The double drop just splits off into the main. These Marines are doing a lot of damage. This hatchery might not die, but it's going to take a huge amount of damage. And just the trading is so sick. This double drop goes towards the main, sees the Queens, unloads on the low ground, forces the Hydras back there. The Hydras do not have any attack upgrades, and they're going up against 3-2, soon to be 3-3 Marines that are so tanky. The base goes down in the left. The drop moves into the right. Much like Data Sea, Cosmic Sapphire, and some of these bigger maps, it feels so hard to actually corner and finish the Zerg. Stargazers as well. But on a map like Inside Out, on Waterfall, it feels oppressive. It feels like the Terran is all over you and is consuming you. And Dark trying to play a very standard style on this map. It feels like he's not able to keep pace with Byun, and he's still got a decent supply. I'm very impressed by that supply right now. I don't know how. He's got so much supply up. Oh, Hot Diddly, thank you so much, Rosie Posey there. Give you a big thanks after the game. But yeah, it's like, how do you have 84 drones and great supply? Dark's just like, yeah, well, you know, just waiting for the right fight. And it's like, he is down 40 army supply. 3-3 is about to kick in. He's already down the most important upgrade, the attack upgrade on those Marines and Marauders. So many Marauders up front to tank. I love this style from Byun. Not that many Widow Mines, though. And the Banelings, ooh, oh, but most of his Marines survive. And that is great play by Byun. The Marauders forming an impenetrable wall. The Marines gunning down everything in the back line. And he does stim one more time. The Queen Hydra off creep there is about to fall. Byun taking the first map for Dark up there after that first game. He just got run over. And now he's playing another tiny map. But it's a map with more wide open spaces. So let's get going into game number 2. Dark taking some big damage in map 1. A great observing there from Pig. Byun in the bottom left side. Another small map. Now, this has some big wide open areas where Zerg can take some really nice engagements. But it still feels like it's going to be a map where Byun could be in your face start to finish. He might even go for one of these big 2-base, 5 barracks Marine tank pushes. I think this is a good map to play Roaches on as Dark. On the other hand, I mean, wide open areas, good for Ling Bane as well. Any sort of swarmy composition could get in there. I can hear my washing machine is on like a spin cycle. There's a bit of a high frequency purr. I hope that's not coming through the microphone right now, guys, but should be all right. I really liked the the Reaper at the start doing a lot of damage. So right from the start, I'd like to see Dark fix his opening a little bit. His pool, yeah, a little late there. That went down at a minute 14. Yeah, it's acceptable, but not perfect. Could be a little cleaner. And just keep our eyes on what he does here. Does he pull off gas at all early? Does he pull anyone off minerals onto gas? A sign that he wants to be highly aggressive. Looks like no. Okay. Changes his rally point to his natural. You can see he rallies to different areas just so the drones naturally spread out. Rally point to the front. This Overlord was hunting for proxy barracks. Now this Overlord is going to come in, see what he's up against, and then probably pull back to up here, maybe sit on the edge there, see Hellions driving out across the map. Overlord just going to skirt the edge of the main, get out to the dead space on the left side. Not bad, not bad. Okay, factory goes down, and this is where we find out, is there a second gas? No, that means Byun's playing 3 command center again. So Byun's playing 3 command center. Dark is going 6 Zerglings yet again. In my opinion, it's not really ever necessary, but on a smaller map like this, it's acceptable. I think Moondance is the one map where I'd advise it, because that map has a tiny rush distance for the Reaper. But Reaper still gets a Zergling kill, so very well played there. And ooh, Dark does... Oh, a bit slow on the pullback. A second Zergling kill. Very effective start. Now, you can see he's pulled 2 workers off gas, so we should see Ling Speed start up. He actually goes 3rd Queen before Ling Speed, so Dark does favor like every drone and Queen starting before his Ling Speed. I actually thought he did this in a previous game I was watching today when he lost an Overlord Scout to a Marine. because he took that damage, but it turns out this is just Dark standard. And at this point, I'd almost call this forgetting Zergling speed, guys. Is he just going to play Roaches? Hello? Is he playing straight Roach? Are we going to see a return of the Cave Bob? Or is this a mistake? We saw him select the spawning pool. He might actually think that he started it. But no, the Reaper comes in and he starts Ling speed now. Byun's like, it's a pretty late Ling speed. I saw that graphic only turned on that animation as I got in there. Do we see it get cancelled now that the Reaper leaves? Dark's openings, a little bit laissez-faire, a little bit made up on the fly. It's not exactly a super organized and you know, managed economy. There is no central bank of Dark, guys, mapping things out and planning inflation rates and interest rates and all that sort of stuff. It's he just kind of lets it happen and sees how it goes. He's got 6 queens on the way. Doesn't need to build more because he's getting Hellbat timing. That's a very quick armory. It's going to be a 420 light him up. So Byun's going to hit with 6 Hellbats and 3 Marines, 4 Marines even, and the medevac. That Marine on the left. Oh, it's a shame he's left that there. I guess that does deny scouting though. So it does serve a function. And he's going to hit, oh, I guess he's going to hit closer to 430, but there's no Bane Nest, there's no Roach Horn. Ling speed's not even finished. Oh man, this could get very nasty very quickly. More Hellions and a Liberator coming in behind. A very fierce timing attack here for Byun. Goes after the Overlord. He knows he's not going to kill that. He can come back for that later if he has some more units alive. And look at that. Hellbat's morphing on the front line. The medevac shuffles to the left side. He's going to clear the creep to start. And then he's going to try and push in now Dark with a good spread on his queens. Notice he wants to pull the queens back and keep them spread. He does not want to let those queens get clumped up on the Hellbats. He's got no roaches on the way or anything like that. Oh, good arc of the queens. Look at the pullbacks on the queens. Great spreading by Dark, but he does lose a spine crawler, and there's still a lot of hit points on these Hellbats. The medevac, though, should go down. He finally focuses that down, and it looks like he's going to clean this one up. Very good defense by Dark. Just using queen micro, positioning, and patient movement there. Yes, he lost a spine, a bit of mining time, and he will, you know, not really lose any queens, though. Reaper goes down in the main. Lair starts up. Liberator does siege up on this base. Looks like it just killed maybe an egg or two. Going to deny a little bit of mining. He's keeping the worker count at Dark low, but I still feel like this is a successful hold for Dark. That being said, 6 Hellions are ready, so he can still move those out, pair them up with the Liberator for a bit of mobile pressure. Queen's on the very edge, doing very well, and Byun. Oh, quick, unsiege and get out, man. Very nice defense by Dark. The Liberator's taking a lot of damage. And with the Overlord there watching it. Oh, look at that Dark, really. He's like, yeah, man, I'm going to get every hit on this that I can. And Byun. Oh, no! He's not watching. He assumed that was safe. He's like, there's no way that can get killed where it is, man. He's going to just siege that there for the moment. Hellions want to punish that queen, but look at this. There's a spine up now. Dark, because he was being greedy with no Roachmore and no Baneling Nest. He instantly dropped a spine. He even dropped a second spine in the third. So one of them died. The other one did finish. He's up to 60 drones versus 45, and it's an old school timing attack. Now, I really like this timing. If you hit it as fast as possible, Keller Zur has a version of what Byun did here, where you hit it about 20 seconds faster before they have any transfuse, but you've got to cut a bunch of SCVs. I remember Keller Zur used to do this, and I think that's the best version of it. Byun did not do that. Byun didn't really cut any SCVs to hit a fast attack with this, and as a result, it just got held by Dark having a smooth, clean response. And this is why when Cyril's been asked about this old school Hellbat timing, he said, it's really trash. I don't know why anyone does. I don't know, Cyril or Raynor. One of those was asked after, I think it was King of Battles. Someone tried it and they're like, oh yeah, it's really trash. I don't know why anyone would do this build. Like you literally don't need to see it coming and you will still beat it every time as the Zerg if you don't mess up your queen micro. And I'm like, yeah, I mean, it's kind of true. If there's a lot of tumors down and there's not much energy on the queens and no transfuse, it can get a little dicey. But we saw how the queens, if they expand backwards in this concave and they keep pulling back in different directions, the Terran kind of naturally surrounds his Hellbats and Marines with queens. And there's just no way to stack up that nasty queen splash damage that's normally so effective. Now, Darky loves the 4 Baneling run by with Bane speed. So the reason he's not going yet is number 1, he wants the base to saturate. Number 2, he wants Baneling speed to be done. So he's going to wait a few more seconds before morphing Banelings and clicking those in. Takes, I believe, 11 seconds to morph a Baneling. And of course, Bane speed's 20 seconds away. Hellions are still doing a good job for Byun. He's not out of this yet by any means. He's actually got a very good push coming. Oh, he barely misses these Banelings on the left side. Very sneaky there for Dark. That means there's not going to be anything covering it. Look, the Hellions are looking around for Lings on this side. the last, I mean, he has this illusion of like, there's no way anything could hit me from the left side. Luckily, the depot wall will buy him time. We'll see how quickly Byun does react there. Dark's even waiting for him to be distracted. He's like, okay, when you push me on the front, click those banelings in. There we go, clicks the banelings in. Getting ready right now. The spine pulls back a little bit so the Ling Bane can kind of try and defend. Oh, and Byun not watching for a moment. Quick SCV pull by Byun, but then the banelings just run away. He's like, yep, made you pull your workers. Nah. Tanks are in a really good position here. You can see he's just hugging that angle, making sure he doesn't get cleared by a big flank. Now, Dark's going to come forward. There is a bit of creep across this bridge. I know it looks weird when the creep's on the bridge. Great Hellbat spready. That's very hard to take out with Lings and Banes. The Marines coming forward, looking for some queen kills. Doesn't quite get it. One queen does go down. And here we go. Here comes the big flank from Dark. Banelings are going to try and get rid of the Hellbat so the Lings can get on top of everything else. The Marines not really taking part in that fight. On the plus side, they survive. On the downside, the tanks do go down, and during that, the Banelings rolled in. 8 more SCVs did go down. Definitely a winning situation for Dark. 77 drones to 60 SCVs, and here on this small map on Waterfall, he is going to be flooding out Zerg in massive numbers. His 2-2's only about 20-30 seconds behind. He's got his Hydra upgrades coming in. He's actually building 10 Hydras. That's a lot, man. Hydras are really just a support unit. Most of the fighting is about the Ling Bane count. That's what wins you the battle. The Hydras are just there to kind of cherry on top of the cake, a bit of range damage, you can kill medevacs, that sort of thing. Queen's trying to buy a little bit of time, and they do just that. Mass Ling run by. There's no Marines there. And I think Byun might just be in the doo-doo right now, guys. Up shit creek without a paddle, as they say. There's not many Banelings to defend, but there's still enough to force him back. Lings kill the 4th command center. The natural gets defended. But my god, losing the 4th, losing the 2nd factory, or at least making it lift, this is all a nightmare for Byun. Byun does kill a base, but killing the opponent's 4th for your 3rd base, it's a good trade for the Zerg. The Zerg is still up in expansion, and they've already got their 4th up, so they're actually still on 4 bases. They just lose a little bit of mining time. As the Terran, you're temporarily on 2 bases, and then back to 3. A hive is finished. Lurkaden infestation pit. Dark is so far ahead of the curve. If Byun can survive even 3 more minutes in this game, I will be absolutely surprised. I'll be super floored. He is so far behind on this match. I'd like to see this Liberator on the right side, see what happens. Hydra's Banelings doing their thing. We've got mass Marines there as well. Tanks trying to mass on up. Or sorry, not mass on up, but trying to hold the position. Well, they've been kind of abandoned over there. I like this tank here, but... Oh, man. Oh, man. Dark just has no fear. He's got too many units, mate. He doesn't give a shit. He doesn't give a shit. Byun saves some of the Marines, but everything gets absolutely ravaged. Byun is forced to do something on the counter-offense, and he will take out a hatchery and a few drones, but is a hatchery and a few drones worth losing your entire 3rd? Every worker on it, getting knocked down to 34 workers. He knocks down the Baneling Nest, which is a huge win. If he can get in the main and get the spawning pool, maybe, these tanks are actually going to kill the Hydra Den as well. If he can get the spawning pool, that's kind of sick. There's only 4 Banelings morphing on this map, guys, and there's already 7 out. Oh! Unable to focus them down. That means the spawning pool survives. Baneling Nest is not being rebuilt right now. Hydra Den does survive. The tanks got cleaned up. These Marines going to dance around on the left and the right. The worker count doesn't look so bad until you remember that it is still 4 base Zerg up against 2 base Terran. And that is what we call a disaster. The 3rd command center is there. He's going to drop 1 round of mules, and he's going to have 1 big wave of Marines rallying out. The creep, though, is going to slow down his advance, and that's a big problem. He's got to stim and siege. Uh-oh. Okay, Lings come forward. They scare him back. Well done there. Got 8 Hydras in the main. Some Hydras here as well. Byun, watch out, bro. Stay in the dead space. Yeah, you see Hydras on the north, Hydras on the south. At least that's keeping a lot of the Zerg pinned back. But look, he's going to drop mules into Zerglings. Oh, no. Thankfully, he doesn't drop the mules yet. And this army can move back to respond, potentially. He might want to move that command center to the right side so there's his rally point kind of defends a little bit more. He's dropped mostly mules in the natural, which is very wise. Even though it mines these patches out, he definitely needs to make sure he actually doesn't lose those mules, because there is lifeline right now. Byun still has a similar economy. If he takes a really good fight, he can win the game. For Dark, though, the secret is just win. Just take the hatcheries on the other side, give this base up, just don't attack into this corridor of death. You can't lose, mate. Do some run-bys if you want. You're against a 2-base Terran. You don't need to hang on to this expansion. Trickle a few Banes in, maybe skirmish with him, but don't fight into that line of tanks. If you chase into this corridor, that's the silliest thing you could do. Dark is not a silly player. Transfers workers, retakes gas. Transfers workers, retakes gas. And he's just there like, hey, dude, you know I have a hive, right? He's got lurkers out now. He doesn't have the lurker upgrades because he's dark and his gas mining's been massively interrupted over the last few minutes. Hasn't put back on gas in his natural, his main. So only really his third mining. He really needs to take a moment and reset that gas mining on these bases. So Dark's a little frantic right now. Byun's third does re-land. He's still on Marine Tank. As long as there's only 2 lurkers out, it's mostly Zerglings he's playing. I can see Mass Marine beating Mass Zergling with a couple of Banelings, guys. I can't see him taking out Mass Upgraded Lurker. These Marine drops are able to come back and join with this army. Does he keep pushing this angle? Does he try to work it further out of this corridor? Tanks there, tanks here. Push forward? Oh, he's going to Doom drop the main. Oh, he's going to Doom drop the main, guys. Oh, my God. 7 medevac Doom drop the main, and then he's just going to turtle at home. He's hoping Dark pushes him. But he's like, okay, I don't think I can wait. I've got to just drop the main, kill all the tech. Let's go to Dark's camera. See how quick Dark reacts, guys. Dark sees it. Dark sees it. He sees the Doom drop. He's moving. He's got Hydras there. Oh, he's going to kill a bunch of the medevacs. Too quick. Dark had the Hydras hiding in that main base. Anticipating it? I don't even know if he's anticipating that or not. That was super duper sick from Dark. Oh, those Hydras just happened to be there. Oh, he'd only just moved the Hydras away, so they were still nearby, and look how quick he reacted. Instantly pulled them back. GG, well played. Dark ties up the series at 1-1. All right, guys. Going to game 3, and he wants to win it quick. This is Byun in the top right of the map, going for a double proxy barracks in the third. Dark in the bottom left of Data C. A big map, man. Now, it's going to take this Overlord a while to get across and see. Oh, Shizzle Fizz, you know, you actually didn't. Actually, I don't know if it's that long. I don't know what time the Overlord arrives. Either way, though, will this Overlord see the barracks? I doubt it. He might go hunt for it and catch the Marines coming in. I don't think he'll see the barracks early, though. Let's check Dark's pool timing. I pointed out he's sometimes late on that. Let's check it out immediately on this time. He gets it on a minute 13. That's a bit better than the last game. Not too bad there. Whoa, is that my internet? Who's lagging? Oh no, it's Bo5. Chill. Emil. Byun's Marine tank push on the north side was a miss micro with the Marines pulled back so far. Yeah, I do think so. I think that was a big misstep for sure. Absolutely, roads go ever on. Yeah, he was trying to pull back from the Banes, and he pulled back a bit too far. Yes, absolutely. I mean, it was still a very good engage by Dark. Banes split on both sides, Baneling speed ready, all that stuff, but definitely. All right, guys, let's continue here. We can see a bit of lag there. Dark sees the barracks. He has to lift the barracks, which does delay a Marine to get that SCV out as it popped out on the backside of that. And oh, he puts out the face and then does the question marks. Byun's like, bring it on, dickhead. Let's go. Now, this is only a 2 barracks, guys. It's not a 3 barracks. Dark, he's stacking his workers. He's trying to get them nice and tight so he can drill. There's only 1 Marine out so far. And uh-oh, watch out. Look at these drones setting up to get this around. Already a bunker gets cancelled here. He's just got to try and kill as many drones and waste as much mining time as he can. You know, if he pulls this many drones, he will defend this. The question is, how many drones does he lose doing it? And I think it's going to be way too many. I think Byun is actually doing devastating damage right now, guys. Oh, but actually these last Marines not getting... I thought they'd pop out and kill an extra worker or 2. Oh, he gets in the corner. Can he get 1 more drone there? Yes, he can. And that SCV landing some hits as well. 5 drones go down. However, Dark's been so greedy behind it. He's only building queens and drones. Oh, I don't know, man. The factory's 15 seconds ago. That's pretty standard timing. About 2:30 for your factory, I think, is pretty standard with this build. If memory serves, maybe 2:20. So maybe he's about 15 seconds late on that factory. So it built 2:25. He started it. Yeah, it's maybe 5 seconds late on the factory. Now, I don't really know who's ahead after that because there's still some Marines gathering up, but 2 queens plus a ramp equals the Marines can't really do anything until you get like 10 Marines, and then you can surprise him and run in with them and definitely do some stuff. Looks like this SCV unable to mine right now, which is always a bummer. He's going to go straight for a reactor on the factory, and he's just going to walk these Marines home. So he's going for 6 Marines before floating the barracks home. I always feel like Dark comes out on top in these scenarios just because he's Dark and he's so good at handling them. But notice he's not injecting because his queens are worried about getting hit by Marines. So in order to keep up drone production and be greedy on that, he feels like he has to be conservative on saving some transfuse energy to make sure if 8 Marines run in right now, his queens can transfuse. But now that he sees the Marines at home with these Zerglings, I think he should go back to injecting both of these hatcheries, just leave one queen spreading creep, and Dark does just that. He should move this queen up to the main though, as he's already got extra energy on it. So a little bit sloppy for him. He does have an Overlord hidden in the back as well, which is a fantastic scout. Now, the standard situation you'll deal with in the follow-up to this, and yeah, we're always a little critical of Dark's injects because they are... I don't think there's a worse Zerg in the top 100 in the world than Dark when it comes to injecting consistently in the early game. And the fact that it doesn't matter shows that he is an absolute Chad. That's pretty good. Byun gets a tumor. If you found that one, it would be super sick. 34 drones to 27. Natural command center is up. Orbital should be starting. There we go. Yeah, so it's going to actually be a Viking, which is kind of cool. He's going to clean this Overlord up to start. I think that's a little better than the Medivac. Start with the Viking. Push back Dark's vision. It's not a high impact pressure, but yeah. Oh, he sees the factory swapping, so that's still a good scout because now Dark realizes, oh, you're not really making that many Hellions. You're swapping off into Marine production, so I know that phase of the game is over. And he might be thinking he's going straight to Medivacs, because that's normally what you'd see associated with that sort of thing. Slow Zergling comes in to get a bit of a scout. But you can see he's not making Stim or Marines right yet. And with a Cloaked Banshee, I don't like Byun's follow-up at this point. I'm thinking the Hellions is a bit of a light... Oh, wait, there's no Zerglings? No, there's 14 Lings, but they don't have Ling speed. Ooh, let's see how much damage he can get. Oh, Ling speed kicks in just in time, and Byun gets nothing. No, Byun's floundering at this point, guys. Not only does he get nothing, but the Banshees are coming in so late. And yet, every second that goes by, building Marines, building Banshees, he's not building a third command center. So he's kind of falling behind on the economy, but I also don't know if he's actually setting up for a push. He could go double Cloaked Banshee, and then just start building tanks, like lift the factory over here and just do like a big 2-base bio tank all in. It's a possibility. Banshees can help clear creep for that sort of push. It can work. It is a possibility, but I just don't think this is a great map for it because, I mean, where do you push to? Look how much creep there already is on this map. He does start a third command center, so Byun is going to play the long game, but he's definitely behind. Banshee comes on in, gets a drone. Can he grab another? Very nice. 2 drones to start. Makes it 3. Gets a 4th one and a 5th. Oh, man. And, you know, he could even stand in Spore range if you really wanted to. The Lair's not done, and this Spore's not done either. Oh, so you know what? I was, like, hating on the Banshees, but Dark's a greedy dickhead, and it turns out I was looking at Byun's build order just as Byun's build order, and I was like, this doesn't line up very well. Banshees are delaying the Medivacs. All your Marines are sitting there doing nothing right now, even though you've got 20 of them. What I didn't factor in is just how much he's taking advantage of the always greedy Dark. Dark likes to cut corners. He sees you swapping off the factory production. He thinks, yeah, we're done with the Hellion Starport phase. We're done with that part of the game. This Banshee grabs one more drone. Oh, nice transfuse. Very sexy. But Banshee does get out. No, it goes down. That Banshee goes down. So both Banshees have fallen. They get a lot of worker kills. At the end of it, though, the worker advantage is still solid. But finally, we've got that Medivac stim pressure, a single siege tank. Shields is starting, as well as +1 attack. He can't really stand and fight just yet. He does need to start his armor. Byun's macro is in a little bit of a mess. He can start denying the creep, but it feels like Dark, even though he's got nothing to stand up to this in terms of army, he just has so much creep, and it's scary for Byun to shove that deep on creep. Great scan for Byun. Gets the front tumors, but he doesn't kill those ones. Here we go. He's going to shove on the 4th. I think Dark wisely has a hatchery in the bottom right. He should give this up. And look at that. Dark, the master of giving up ground. He did it last game. Whenever Byun is in a position where he just wants to bait you into a bad fight, Dark just pulls back. It's like, no, buy time. It's fine. Just don't take the bad fight. And that's really working well for him. Look at this tank position. Very nicely done. Byun, he's going to leave some Marines there off creep. He's going to elevate up into the main base. Do you bother scanning for these tumors? I don't know if that's worth it or not. The Spore can definitely be annoying. And here we go. He's just going to try and pick up some of those Marines and then redrop them there. Using that tank on the low ground is a bit of an anchor, a bit of an annoyance for Dark to deal with. He's going to run in and just focus the Medivacs. Happy to lose some queens if he can get rid of this entire push, and he will do just that. Oh, great move by Dark. No high ground vision left for Byun. He has to get out of there. Byun has, though, tied up the work account, 60 versus 60, but he's only on 3 barracks. His 4th and 5th racks just now coming up. Armory has not started yet. On the other hand, where the hell are the upgrades of Dark? He's just started melee. His gas mining's a mess. He's only on 4 gas geysers in this game, and for some reason he's massing Hydralisks with no Hydra upgrades and no Carapace. This can only be described as absolute hot garbage strategy from Dark. There is no reason to build Hydras this early in the game, even if you have grooved spines on them. To have no grooved spines, no muscular augments, and to be investing in them, dumping all your gas, delaying your upgrades, absolute waste of money. These Hydras are probably the least value you could get for your money at this stage of the game. So Dark, he's been doing things really weird all day today, and he continues to do things really weird. He's finally got some Hydra upgrades on the way. Whoa, that low hit point medevac getting out of there. Byun's going to try and push the right side. I think he's just decided that this tank is a sacrifice. It's just like, I'm just going to leave that there to deny creep for the next minute or two. At any point, Dark decides to A-move the middle, he'll kill that. But he's going to have to actually make that choice. And he doesn't know how many units I've got. I could have 5 tanks back there. As I say that, Byun actually says, you know what, let's keep the tank alive. Pulls it back. Very wise decision. Byun's rally points are not set right now. This is a big sign of chaos. I told you guys his macro was a little bit of a mess this game. He's now getting the second factory up with the tech lab. He's pulling his units to the front, setting the rally point. And where is that armory, guys? It's finished. So we should see 2-2 start momentarily. Infestation pit goes down for Dark. Dark's up to 77 workers. He's retaken this base, and his creep is respreading on the north. He hasn't respread it through the middle, though. Now that he knows there's no tank there, he's got to get a move on with his creep spread. You can see he's very slow to respread the creep, something which I think, like, Cyril is so methodical about immediately replacing tumors when they get cleared. Dark, all day today, and all of his Zerg vs. Terrans, has just been super slow to do it, but it doesn't matter too much because he's so good at winning without creep spread and just out-positioning his opponent. His Nidus Worms have been very deadly, something which Kua couldn't handle earlier, and I don't think Byun will be able to. 2-2 now starts up, but the upgrade lead, part of it has disappeared. Hive is on the way, still very gas-starved, as he is not putting on gas. There we go, finally saturates that gas, does Dark. And he's still building lots of Zerglings and Banelings. He's up in supply. He's got a lot more units right now, but Byun is not handing him that fight on a platter. He's going tanks. He's getting a 5th command center. And he's just chilling. So Byun happy to play the late game against Dark. I can't imagine Byun can beat Dark there. On the other hand, Byun has been working on his late game. And so it's not the old days where Byun would just gas out past the mid game. It was like, hey, he either kills you or he can't friggin' do anything because he'd have no late game transition. He'd just always be pure momentum. But he actually will set up for Ghosts. He will play Ghost Tank. He will play Liberators. And he will try to creep across the map. Now, a big mistake we've seen from a lot of Terrans recently is not keeping their bases contained. So you got to be really careful about where you take your 5th base and do not give him an angle to attack. Lots of Marines roaming around right now for Byun. But basically, yeah, this right side has no support. It's just tanks, but it's not fully walled, and there's no Marines there. That's a lot of Marines he's got on this right side. Way more than can fit in those medevacs, guys. That's like 35 Marines. It's way too many. Does deny a hatchery, but oh my god, where's the medevacs? Pick up! Get out! He saves 24 of them, loses about 8 or 10 Marines. That's a nice little drop on the right side as well. Yeah, you do have to be careful that, like, at the moment, if 80 Lings ran in here, they would kill 6 siege tanks pretty easily. So he's keeping Dark back, though. Dark doesn't know this. Dark's kind of busy chasing his Marines around the map. Oh, good focus on the Banes. Saves all but 4 or 5 of the Marines. Still got 19 Marines alive there. 2 Vipers, 2-2 upgrades, Adrenal Gans, Lurkiden. So Hive transition's fully on the way here for Dark. He's got those Hydra upgrades now. He's got triple Evo as well because he's Dark and he likes to get triple Evo. I love it. Ghost transition and 5 command centers for Byun. This is a man that respects and understands the power of the Iron Bank, guys. If you get enough orbitals, it's like having way bigger supply cap because you can throw away your SCVs. You don't need to replace them. You just use mules for mineral income. Such a good way to play. And look at the way he's getting value with these drops. Units lost tab is in his favor. It's not massively in his favor, but you got to remember things weren't really going his way earlier in the game. Marine drop in the bottom right. Does still save that. You can hide in the dead space. This drop over here is going to keep just leading this Hydraling Bane around. Vipers are out now, so it's only a matter of time until either parasitic bombs or abducts spell the end of this journey. There is spore coverage as well. So if you dive in there, it's probably a one-way trip. Those spores will shoot you down. And yeah, the Vipers can parasitic bomb now, so. Ooh, quickly unload. Nah, that's going to die. That was just below 120 life, which is how much damage a parasitic bomb does. There we go. Well done. Behind this, though, he's established on the top. Now, he doesn't have wall-offs in front of this. I'd like to see another command center here, like really. And the thing is, never move out from this angle. He should make sure this is fully walled and even reinforce this. Get like an engineering bay and another engineering bay there. Because if your opponent has to kill a turret depot, that's a few banelings. But if they have to kill an engineering bay with 850 hit points, a command center with 1500 hit points to get in on these tanks, that's where it's just like, it's not even worth it for your opponent. It's really bad. So he's got to pay attention to that. That's where Maru does better than anyone else. These turrets here, zoning out Niduses or anything getting in the back, especially when combined with one tank. So Byun's pretty well set up for the late game. He's got some turrets on the top, and he should just try and take this corner. And if he can take this corner, and especially if he can deny this base of Dark, then Dark's not going to get any more bases than him. Even if Dark mines this whole base out, then Dark will get 1 base, 2 bases more. And 2 bases more than a Terran does not guarantee the victory. Terran is innately more efficient than the Zerg, unless the Zerg has gone full Spellcaster Broodlord, like very high tier units, which of course no Zerg does for a very long time. Dark, though, is at 110 workers, and he's decided, you know what, I can cover the map in static, I can get a giant bank, suck all the resources up, and then I am going to flood, and you will not have an answer to it. You are going to get overrun. And he's going straight to Broodlords and Infestors, realizing that's going to be the tech that's needed. Now, there is an extra factory on the way, and a lot of extra factories. So one with a reactor, in case he needs Widow Mines, but I actually think Hellbats is the better answer there. When you get +3 vehicle weapons, we've seen Maru show that Blue Flame Hellbats are king. And if you can get a bunch of tech labs, you can get Thors out very quickly. And why are Thors important? Because that's the answer to the Broodlords. You need about 5 or 6 Thors just by default in your army, keeps you pretty safe. 2 Ghosts go down there. Not a bad little surround for the Lingbane. He's scanning the army, is Byun. Drops a few Marines in there. He says, okay, let's just throw this supply away, whatever. Get a couple of workers, just focus down what we can. No worries, mate. And he does get 6 workers before they die. And the Thors are starting up already. That's what we're talking about, guys. He's got 1, 2, 3 tech lab factories building Thors. He doesn't have Blue Flame yet. That's a big mistake because Mass Ling does really well versus like Thor Ghost Tank. But if you just mix in a few Blue Flame Hellbats, each Blue Flame Hellbat one-shots 20 Zerglings with each shot. It's a disgusting thing. And he goes for servos before... Oh no, servos and Blue Flame. Overseer comes in for the Nidus, unable to get in there. There's turrets literally everywhere. Yeah, tries to use the pervert mode. It goes down. Byun is showing some impressive turtle. This is like Maru style. This is just, nope, I know I'm a bit behind, so I'm just going to drag it out to late game. And you can have a bit more money than me, but watch how bad you trade. Now, I say watch how bad you trade. He does have a planetary here. Oh man, a planetary 4 tanks. He doesn't have as many turrets as I'd like. I'd like a few more turrets in front of it. But, man, it still looks pretty unassailable. I can't really imagine choosing to attack into that as a Zerg. And it's mass spine spore building everywhere, dude. He's got spores and spines going up all over the map to try and support his army, but... Oh, man. Yeah, Byun's going to say, no, you can't mine this base out. What the hell, dude? There's no way. Byun does have to be a little careful. Dark's going to try and fight him front on here. He scans. He sees the army coming. So, yeah, just pull back. He's only got 1 tank there on the high ground. He's got more tanks on the right, though. And that's the trick, is just keep grabbing 1 or 2 of these tanks from the back and move them forward. Just don't move too many at once, because Dark is way more fluid with his movement than most players. Oh, I like the Thor drop. That's actually really cute. Picking off a lot of drones. You'll get the hatchery eventually as well. The Ghosts here on this side pulling back. Ooh, the Thors are going to go down potentially. I'd like to see a tank on that north side as well, would be amazing. Thor will go down on that side. Good movement with the Hydras. And doesn't quite get the hatchery, so good defense there. And here we go, Lingbane running forward, Cloak, spready boys, spready boys, spready boys, spready boys! Ooh, the Banelings! Oh, okay, good spready. Most of those Ghosts survive, and this is, of course, good fights for Dark. Look at that units lost tab. For Byun, sorry. He's 50% ahead, 15,000 resources lost for Dark, Byun 10,000. And remember, if he can deny the mining on these bases, that's huge. Dark should be fully saturating this base and this base as early as possible. He hasn't done that. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Anyone who's ever watched my game cast, you guys know I talk about this so much recently and how blatantly obvious it is that when you're in a turtle situation, You always want to saturate your front exposed bases rather than mining these bases, which are obviously always going to be yours for the rest of this game. So big mistake by Dark. It is the same mistake that is made by every single player out there. Someone who speaks Korean, please tell Dark. Please tell the pros. Tell them to listen, because I'm so sick of watching that we have more turtle games in this modern era than ever in TVX because of Maru and his influence. And the number of players who just do not mine out their opponent's bases, even when they have full map control, is insane. There's still, it's good, it's saturated, but move the workers up from the other bases, man. Move them up. Come on. All right, I'll stop ranting. I said I wouldn't rant, and then I ranted about it. It's all right. It's out of my system, guys. Let's take a look at the buildings. We have 9 spines, 31 spores. That's after all that static gets cleared up. Byun, I think, is winning this game. I say that, but a Broodlord Infestor Viper transition comes out, and that is an incredibly skill-based army where you've got 16 tanks. They are obviously terrible versus Broodlords. You've only got 2 Thors and 15 Ghosts. If they get hit by a fungal, like, your Ghosts go down. You've only, you need more Thors as Byun right now. If he wants to be safe here, because he's trading with Ling Bane, he's very focused on replacing his basic units. As I say that, he builds 2 new Thors. He's also getting ship weapons and fusion core. If he can get ranged libs, that's going to be huge. He's got to pull back right now. I don't know what he's doing this far forward. This is crazy that he's this far forward. He sees that army, and this is not a big force that he's got here. This is so dangerous. If he gets caught by a fungal, this is a very small portion of Byun's army, and I don't think he can actually cement this position just yet. He's got a lot of turrets, a lot of tanks on that back line. This base, though, is a bonus right now. That being said, guys, 10 orbitals! 10! The true Iron Bank, man. He's got 86 SCVs. Byun should not be fighting out in the open until he throws a bunch of SCVs away. Right now, he's probably starting to get oversaturated on some of these bases. If he wants to let those workers mine for a bit longer, that's okay, but he should start grabbing probably about 20 or 30 workers and throw those lads out. He's going to go for nukes now. I wouldn't mind mass nukes. I think that's something Innovation would go for here. I'd also love to see an extra orbital back there. It looks like just one command center that he's forgotten to morph. Dark's going to start harassing this right side. There's 1,300 gas and about 500 minerals, maybe 800 minerals left to mine there. It's not an important location, but by opening this up, you open access to the main base, the production, and potentially Ling Run buys can get in there. So you can see Byun pulls this whole army over, but look, he's got to move through creep. Dark is setting him up for a trap. He's got spores, he's got infestors, which he's spread out. One of the biggest mistakes players make is clumping those infestors and they all get EMP'd, but he's not making that mistake. Tanks are going to defend the left side from the Banes. That planetary should be safe as well. Looks like a nuke tried to get launched, but I think it got picked off. And here we go. So this base does survive. The planetary's still up. Remember, building armor did get made ages ago. Nidus worms popping up to potentially move units around. Probably just as much for the psychological impact of scaring your opponent, really. 3 more command centers coming up. Byun is going to suck up all these resources in the top left. Units lost tab. Still looking good for him, but Dark is not throwing units away. And this really is a game of patience. I think that the correct play for Dark is to wait for Byun to mess up. Keep respreading your creep and trying to move around and chip at him and just wait for him to get caught by fungal. So I'd love to see Dark have like a burrowed infestor here, maybe a burrowed infestor there. He's got so much creep, it's kind of difficult to do. Here we go. Byun is going to throw SCVs out. Very, very good idea. Triple Thor drop on the right. That's cute. A tank. Oh, the tank in the main that was there to defend Nidus Worms comes across. Very, very awesome. Banelings are going to roll in. Let's see how they do versus that. Oof, not very well at all. But the Corruptors are here, so these 3 Thors do just die. This is a waste. This is a good trade for Dark. So as long as Dark plays patient, Byun's going to get over-eager, and he's going to do things like this, which actually don't trade cost efficiently for him. 3 Thors is super expensive. And look at this. He's running way far and forward of his sport, and he's presenting opportunities. Dark's very clumped, though. EMP could destroy him here, man. Good Marauder. That Marauder should be able to take that Infestor down, but it looks like he didn't keep targeting it. That base should fall there, and actually quite a lot of minerals and gas still on this base. That's fascinating to see. Good EMPs on those 2 infestors. Good spread, though. So both sides doing fantastic micro to make sure they do okay. I think Byun should give up ever denying the mining on this base so much, and really his bigger focus should be just being efficient in the fights. And we can see it is what? About 5,000? Getting closer to 6,000 in the resources lost. 14 Broodlords versus 7 Thors. There's only 7 Hellbats. I think you want to make sure you've got a few extra Hellbats. If you ever get caught without them, Broodlings can actually do great damage. Broodlord's being very careful. They're trying to pull back. Okay, good fungals, but... Oh, good EMPs as well. But another... Oh, yeah, there we go. The way he's just rotating the infestors is really good, but then he kept them way too clumped. Dark making the golden mistake that everyone does. He does get almost every infestor EMP. There's only one fungal left. Is it enough, though? Does it matter? Where's the Vipers? The Vipers are there. You gotta watch out. Blinding Cloud on those Thors, and they all go down. This is not that big an army for Byun. Remember, he's still got 68 SCVs right now, guys. So I really, like, let's check his saturation. It looks like, okay, he's pulled most of these guys out off these bases, which is pretty good. Those tanks, he's gonna just try and move forward, I think, to try and siege everything up. He accidentally sieges in Spinecrawler range, but I think those tanks will be able to take that out. There we go. Broodlords gathering up, Changelings moving out to that left side. If Byun can steal these resources, that's going to be huge for him. These tanks on the right are starting to clear back the creep a little bit. We've got the Medevac rapid reignition system that reduces the cooldown of Ignite Afterburners by 5 seconds, and it increases the passive movement speed of Medevacs. Did you guys know that, guys? Everyone always forgets this. I didn't know this for years. So check it out. It's 3.5, just regular movement speed. Let's try and watch the Medevac, I guess. Let's just stay selecting the one Medevac to get a feel for this, and then we can watch it move after the upgrade. So the upgrade's going to kick in. It goes 3.5 to 4.13. Wow! Game-changing! One of the rarest upgrades in the entire game, but it is a lot of fun to see that coming in. I mean, it's the late game. Why not? Thor, Ghost, Spready. The Banelings are going to get a few of the Ghosts, but I mean, the spread is good enough on the Ghost that it's not an efficient trade. Broodlords are going to start to break this right side. He's going to have to give up that area, but they come out too far. Oh my goodness, he's morphing another 11 Broodlords? He's going to 24 Broodlords. These Thor, Lib, Ghost, Vikings starting to push in. And Vikings, right? I think a couple of Vikings would be amazing. There's nothing that shoots up except Fungal right now. Parasitic Bomb, Fungal. The Broodlord's coming forward. He's trying to go Libs. Is that to deal with the Infestors, or is it to just jump on top and use their anti-air on the clumped Broodlords? Either way could potentially work here. Broodlords do not have many hit points, only 225, and 4 armor plus 3 ship weapons is on the way. Byun's losing a lot of infrastructure though, and unless I feel like he should pull back and fight the army. I think movement and this sort of stuff is always going to favor Dark. So I don't think Byun should be going into a chaotic base trade like this, and yet he seems willing to do it. There's nothing that shoots up right now except, what, Parasitic Bomb, Fungal. Even a single Lib or two could start picking these units away, guys. You see that? Look, he's having to use Fungal, Parasitic Bomb to try and deal with this. The Libs are trying to jump on top, but so many units are dying as they pop out, which is really bad for Byun. Now, Byun is taking out the tech in the main. He's clearing the natural and the third. All this stuff should bleed out. Even if he doesn't kill it now, it's had its creep removed, which is a big problem. And look at this. There's nothing that shoots up. The Broodlords are in trouble. The Broodlords are in trouble. They are all going to die here eventually to these Libs. The Libs are trying to focus the Vipers down. The Thor walking back, though, and Byun definitely throwing a lot of units away. He's still up 6,000 resources in the units lost, though, so we'll see how it goes. The Vipers are going to die there. Another Fungal lands. It will kill a Liberator eventually. I mean, he could very slowly, but the Vipers are dying. The Libs are dying. Imagine if he had Vikings, they'd be doing a bit more damage there. It would be pretty nice. He's slowly cleaning up the Broods. Hydras are building, so he's got Hydras coming in, does Dark. Byun is moving in on the right side. He's lost a lot of mining there. He's still got some mining. Has he rebuilt his tech? Holy shit, he didn't rebuild his tech. Dark, what are you doing, mate? How did he not rebuild his tech? He had so long to rebuild. He's only now rebuilding just a Lurker Den and a spawning pool. He didn't rebuild his Hydra Den, his Baneling Nest, or anything else. His Spires, thankfully for him, survived. He didn't rebuild those either. That's absolutely just bananas that he didn't do that. Now, Byun's got to get out of here. Byun should not be here with this army. He's rebuilding all of his production in the top left of the map. But I can't believe Dark didn't rebuild that. That's crazy. Okay, here we go. It's a fusion core upgrade, that upgrade, by the way. The rapid reignition systems. That's why nobody gets it. The Spires, man. If he killed those Spires, that'd be huge. Byun, he knows they're there, but he doesn't quite realize. If he just unsieges these tanks and kills them, that'd be massive. Clears up some creep there. Giant Broodlord army coming for Dark. So Dark's got 20 Broodlords, 9 Infestors, and a Viper. A lot of those Infestors have now regathered some energy, I would assume. Where are they, dude? There they are. Yep, so they've all got a single Fungal or Neural available. Most of them will have double Fungal available very soon. Thor, Broodlord. Oh, watch out for the Libs, man. The Libs are going to go in after those Broods, but they're very clumped. I don't know if this is going to work out for Byun. Attacking on creep into Spines and Hydras, not not always the best way. Neural defending those Liberators. Oh, that is a very cute move there for Dark. Does turn those Liberators on themselves. Definitely, yeah, I do think Vikings will be huge here. I also think zoning nukes would be massive, but has he lost his Ghost Academy? He's got a new one up here. He's got Barracks as well. Does Byun. He's a little supply blocked on 195, so he's missing just the last 5 supply of units. Not the end of the world. He's got so many command centers that it's okay. He's still got 7 orbitals and 5 planetaries up and a lot of mining going up here. This base is still a very valuable prize. This base, it's kind of like a long-distance mining prize for Dark after he mines out the actual bases that are useful. He's only got 41 workers right now, but he's starting to get those last resources out of the map. Now, we've got tanks and libs, which are really good at zoning out the infestors. And he's got 9 Vikings, 11 Thors, and 5 Ghosts overhead. For Byun, if he can just get a few sneaky EMPs, he could definitely push forward. As it is, he's got to do it real slow. He's trying to build an eBay just so he can get some turrets. He's a little worried about burrowed infestors and that sort of stuff ambushing him. And if he can push this creep back, that'll be very, very effective. The Broodlord count, 18 now. Queens are rebuilding, and Dark now rebuilding a Spire as these are about to bleed out. I don't know if he's rebuilt a hive. He's rebuilt a lair, but not a hive yet. He's waiting for the infestation pit. So where is he making that? This base. So he's going to wait for that infestation, and then we should see a hive starting up soon. But Dark, man, to be in a base trade there where there wasn't much room to micro, and the fact that he didn't rebuild his tech in the bottom right was very, very messy from him. I guess he kind of just wanted to win with that army. Now, Byun, he's got turrets building through the middle of the map. He's going to try and take this base and suck up the resources there. I like this. Anything to get rid of the vision. If he could get rid of these overlords on the left as well, anything to just clear up the vision of his opponent would be good. Oh! Dark comes in with the poo mission. This overlord comes in and just drops a deuce there, and these spires immediately suck up those nutrients. And look at that, guys. They're going to survive. 29 hit points, 241 hit points. The Hydras were moving here, hoping to ambush those Vikings if they came down to hunt for the spires. He even burrowed them because his name's Dark and he's a Chad gamer. Okay, what do we got? So right now, 6 factories, 2 starports, 5 barracks. He's going to build 2 more factories. He's also getting +3 ship weapons is Byun to round out his air units. If you can get enough Vikings to one-shot a Broodlord, which I think 9 is enough to do that, that's going to be awesome. 4 armor versus 16 damage, so 2 times 12, doing 24 a volley. Oh, look at that. Command Center's going to go down. Hydras are going to take out a few of these ghosts. The Vikings are going to just fly overhead as well. Okay, so that command center will just instantly rebuild. I'm almost like, do you even need to rebuild that? But I think the gas is very valuable here since he's got so many minerals in the bank and not that much gas left to mine. So random Cyclone. I think that's what we call the misclick Cyclone, guys. Just like there's a random Hellmuffin often built in late game, a random Cyclone does sometimes sneak out for the Terran player. Tanks are starting to shuffle forward. They can zone this out, as can the Libs. And if he can get that big EMP, man, anytime those infestors are in front of the Broodlords, he can run in, drop a big fat EMP on them. Terrain is really dangerous for the Thors. They get kind of stuck on this stuff, and they struggle to get in range. But if they can get in range, it's big. There's 6 Evo chambers building right now. 7? 8, 9 Evo chambers? I guess that's just to suck energy with his Vipers, but it's also so that he can get rid of the drones to get more army supply, and it costs just as much to build that as a Spore Crawler, so he figures why not? I can at least get the hit points off of these, fair enough. There's 6 Vipers he's going up to, 9 Infestors, 6 Vipers. Dark realizes the path to victory, it involves spellcasters. It really does involve spellcasters, and I think that's definitely the right way to think about it. The problem for him is this is such a slow, methodical, strangling move forward that Byun's going for, where he's not overextending, he's taking his time. And remember, this won't finish the series either. This is just Data C being Data C. As a map, the fact that your first 4 bases are so easy, like it really leads to some of these turtley games. And the thing is, I didn't think it would. When I first looked at the map, I thought because these corner bases are all so exposed and sticking out, that it wouldn't happen. It would be really hard to defend, and whoever's more aggressive in the mid game would deny all those bases, suck all of those resources up and win. But that's kind of what happened here. It's just that obviously the nature of Terran with their Mega Turtle style right now is definitely special. Now that's 31 Broodlords, guys. As you can see right now, he's got them on a little patrol path. That's what we call a Broodlord flower. Now, for those who don't know, if you guys ever want to go to the Upside Down, if you literally do this, this will actually create a portal to a different dark universe, a demon dimension underneath our own one. Like, that is That's gonna have some unforeseen side effects, man. You gotta be careful with this shit, man. The Vipers and the Corruptors are trying to get in on it as well. Oh my god. Obviously that disguises the number. You know there's a shitload there, but you don't really know what the exact number is. The Infestors are spreading out. Byun is going to grab some SCVs and throw it away. Hellmuffin is a swarm host, for those who don't know. Some people confused by my terminology. One time, I think it was Tasteless, looked at it and was like, I think that looks like a muffin. Don't you think the swarm host looks like a muffin, Artosis? And I was like, oh my god, it kind of does. It's a hell muffin, man. That's exactly how they speak, by the way. The only one who wants to pay me to do a Artosis impersonation, go ahead. It's always spot on, Artosis and Tasteless. Our very own StarCraft, Bert and Ernie. Now, we've got more medevacs on the way. Byun's like, just leave, dude. Byun really should throw more workers away, I believe. He's thrown some away, but he's got to throw even more away. Because right now, Dark has 185 army supply. Now, the way Dark's sieging him is Dark is attacking his own broodlings to spawn his broodlings closer to the enemy without exposing his broodlords to risk. And this is actually allowing the tanks to kill his own Thors! Holy crap, Dark there actually was killing the Thors from a full 2 screens away. Oh my god, you sicko. We used to do this back in the old days in Heart of the Swarm when we were in a stalemate. Man, so sick that Dark remembers this trick. We used to do this. I remember it was Snoot, I think, who taught me this one. Oh my god. I haven't done this in years, guys. It's so sick. The Broodlords attacking their own broodlings. And you can drop creep tumors to get it started, see? So what he can do is he can attack one of his own tumors, and then just each broodling wave, you pull one back and attack it, and you pull one back and you attack it. It's a very micro-intensive, but it's a hilarious way of just sending endless broodling waves at your opponent from like 2 screens away. So the thing is, Dark's looking for the perfect fight, and Byun, guys, he's out of mining, so he really needs to throw these SCVs away, right? He's surely got too many. He's got a bunch here. He's got 36. He's lost some. His tanks are sieging forward. Look at that. The broodlings. The broodlings are so sick, man. Oh my god, the tanks are getting caught here. And this is why libs are way better than tanks, because broodlords can't get rid of them, right? So the Vikings really need to be like trying to just pick off a broodlord here to punish him. He needs to do something to punish him. Byun's going to attack in. Byun's getting baited, man. Byun is attacking around a piece of terrain. Byun needs to pull back. Right now, Byun is attacking after losing like 20 supply of units for free, and he's walking into fungal spore. Byun, put it back in your pants, mate. Put it back, guys. Guys, be a bro. If you ever see a Terran friend of yours pushing in like this, be a bro. Tell him to put it back in his pants. Fungal coming in on all sides. The Viking, Lib, Thor. It's all stuck behind the terrain. A terrible fight for Byun. Byun, pull back. You do not need to defend this area. Byun right now gets a massive stiffy, and he immediately clicks with his dick and walks into Dark's gigantic trap. Dark is slaying him, and now he's fungling him, so he can't retreat. A great EMP does zone back some of the infestors, but Dark just savaged Byun in that fight. I didn't check the resources lost before the fight, but I imagine he savaged him. Yeah, because, oh yeah, definitely. Oh, I was thinking it was the other way around. So Dark is actually ahead 9,000 resources after that. In a matchup where you're normally way behind, he's up 9,000 resources, and that was a shit show for Byun. It was a terrible place to fight. It made no sense for him to fight, and he absolutely should have used a zoning nuke or two. Zoning nukes are really important. If your opponent starts doing this, you can start using zoning nukes to start picking away at these positions. But look at this, Dark. He's like, I can kill a turret from over there. You guys thought Serral's, 13 range broodlords or whatever it was were Imber? I don't know, 12 range, whatever it was, where he'd use the stutter step and the target fire and the leash range, basically on the broodlings to fire from further away. Dark's like, dude, I attack my own broodlings and I just attack from 2 screens away. It's such a weak trickle of units in any normal game, but in a game like this where both players are stalemated, they're gridlocked right now, anything to chip away at him is good. And look, he attacks a tumor. Tumor is free, and he attacks his own spore there. And there we go. So you got to keep actually telling them to attack, though. That's the thing. He's got to go box the broodlings, A move. Attack a broodling, box the broodlings, A move. Box the broodlings, A move. Attack the broodling, box. It's very intensive to do. And because they're A move, they're also running past the missile turrets to attack the other units as well. But he's got a big spore schlong here, guys. I mean, I think Byun should just give this base up and wait until he has the perfect army. Byun has a much bigger army now. He has 15 Thors, but only 8 Hellbats. He should have a lot more Hellbats in there. I think you want at least 10 Hellbats, and he needs to be spread across multiple screens, because otherwise the Thors, notice how Byun is just F2ing in a big blob. These guys need to be spread to come in from there, and there. You cannot come in from one direction. That is not how Mass Thor works. Notice how they're all stuck behind each other. Fungal Parasitic Bomb combo! Dark lands the Wombo combo and just chops the Viking dick off. The Viking lib goes down at the front of that army. Oh my god, the Thors are fighting though. The Thors are fighting, and even though they're stuck behind each other, I think a lot of the Broodlords are dying. Even though there was some Blinding Clouds going down, the Blinding Clouds worn off, the Infestors and the Vipers have lost their energy. They've lost all their energy. This might be Byun's moment now that the Spellcasters are out, but all the Thors are just fighting Broodlords. They're not actually fighting they're fighting the Broodlings, not the Broodlords. And remember, there's no more Hellbats left. The moment the Hellbats are gone, the Broodlings are gonna savage you. Oh no, Byun's gas bank is gone, guys. He's building Hellbat Ghost right now, Viking. But Byun taking terrible fights in the middle of the map. He needs to be more careful about these fights, but he doesn't know what to do. Byun has never been in a game this long in his entire life. I told you guys he's been working on his late game, and he played to this stage of the game. But where Maru is patient and methodical, Byun, he's just gotten a bit too excited. He's seen a thumbnail with some Broodlord titties on it, and he's clicked on it. And he's, no, don't click on that. No. He keeps walking into spores with the libs. The Thors are still not spread out. The fact that his Thors are not spread out. Guys, Maru has shown us how to do this. The Thors need to be spread across multiple fronts or they cannot get surface area. He keeps fighting up against these little S-bend shapes, and Dark is destroying him. The Broodlords, there's still 26 Broodlords. He's reinforcing them. Dark has 2,000 more in the bank. Byun is just headbutting. He's headbutting right now. He's frustrated. He's impatient. And it's such a shame because we know Byun as this guy used to just micro his way to victory. Not really the biggest thinker, just a micro boy, very predictable builds. He's gotten better at the macro game, but he's still got to be patient and pick these fights correctly. And what he's showing here is he has not learned how to do that. And that is the real important thing to win with this style. He's still got one last scary push, 11 Thors and the Hellbats, but notice the Broodlords are just not letting it land. Fungal Blinding Cloud combo! Over the entire Thor army, the Broodlords hammering it home. Up 20,000 resources lost. Dark is taking Byun to Dicktown right now. Byun has forgotten about nukes. He's not even clearing the creep, and he is headbutting into a choke point. I know it doesn't look like a choke point. It's pretty wide, but when you're at 180 army supply, it is a choke point. Dark steals his Thors, neurals them, and says, why are you hitting yourself? Byun there, throwing away dozens of thousands of resources in some awful engagements. Dark there with some spectacular Broodlord, Fungal, Blinding Cloud, Parasitic Bomb, retreating combat, fighting backwards through waves of spores, perfect stutter step. Dark is the god of late game. What an absolute Chad. All right, guys. Well, I think he may be broken mentally. We're going to have to see if he can pull it together. I wouldn't mind a 2-base all-in after that last one. This is Byun in the top left of Stargazers. Very big map. Can be a little hard to kill the Zerg if you can't get the nice position and momentum early up from this cliff, leveraging a forward push. Dark's in the top right. We do expect Dark to expand along the bottom side of the map towards the gold base, potentially. And Byun, I expect to go second here, probably third on the front, and then the fourth on the inside. And then to just kind of march forwards. He could maybe even take the third on the inside. We'll see exactly what he opts for. No scout with the SCV just yet, but he's going to. You can see he's queued this guy. Oh, no. He's actually going to go and expand inside to start the game. Okay, so Byun really likes this in-base expansion. I think it slows your build down a little, so I'd rather take it as a third or a fourth base where it ends up being similar to a normal build. So not a big fan, personally. Of taking it so early. I don't mind it against Protoss, but against Zerg, where it's like, you're always going to get it up, kind of an issue. Overlord already sees that, so Dark feeling very calm. He knows he's not being proxy barracks this game. And a second barracks. Byun's going 2-1-1, old school, baby. He's going to try and push this top path. You could follow that up with tanks as well, right? And you know, if you can drop a tank, you can siege a tank here, right? And that's like just inaccessible for Zergans. They got to go around a corner to get in there. Oh, that's kind of gross. You put a tank there as well. It doesn't reach that far, but you can definitely be annoying from there. I wonder if you can put a tank like there. All right. Zergling's going to try and defend. Just 4 Zerglings on this map. Dark being just a little more... Oh, no, he does go 6. Never mind. Dark, a big fan of going 6. He's going to get it! I thought he was going to get the Reaper there, but defends successfully. Does not get the Reaper kill, but that's still acceptable. Doesn't lose any Zerglings or drones. Tech Lab's on the way, as well as the factory, the second gas. So yep, standard 2-on-1. 2-on-1, for those who don't know, is 2 barracks, 1 factory, 1 starport. And it allows us to get stim, and you're going to build a factory, a starport, a reactor, build 2 medevacs, stim, and you'll have 16 marines out of these 2 barracks at the same time as your 2 medevacs pop. And that's at the same time as stim finishes. And that means you basically hit about 5 minutes 10, maybe 5:20 off this build on this map. 16 marines with stim. It's a very powerful timing, very fundamental and basic build, something Byun popularized back in the day. And here we go, lots of queens coming out. Already 2 tumors on the front, very nice play for Dark. That starport goes down right on, ooh, oh, very crisp, 315 starport, wow. All right, Byun's gonna be looking to hit that medevac timing, super tight, man. I think he'll be unloading in here at like 5:10, assuming he hits this angle. He could just work the front. Dark doesn't have any info on what he's up against right now. And link speed is really late. Dark goes crazy late link speed. If there's a guy that you could go maybe for a 6 Hellion dive against, you'd think it would be Dark, but he's so good at just like moving his queens to the right position, spreading his drones. It's pretty rare that does get in there. Now these marines are moving down the bottom of the map. He's looking for Overlord snipes. Oh, that's real cute. Okay, as long as there aren't too many lings on the map. Yeah, that could be really sick. So he sees where the Overlord is, so he's going to try and move forward there. Is that worth losing the Reaper for? No, it is not. He pulls that back. And the Marines rock up. They're going to kill the Overlord and run away. Get away from the Queens. They can beat the Zerglings. Zerglings get a single Marine, not too bad. Reaper does die to the other Queen, though. Well defended by Dark so far. These Marines are going to pull back. They could get this Overlord, but I don't think Byun knows about that one just yet. As his medevacs fly over, though, if his Marines are nearby, he can stop and kill it. Oh, no, he knows about it. Very nice. He's already getting some damage done. Dark taking a few Overlord losses. His third is not very saturated. Not for this early in the game when 2 medevacs are powering across. He's got 10 more drones. He's got 8 Queens and 20 Lings, though. So it looks like Dark did build a lot of Zerglings very early. So Byun doesn't need to do damage, because Dark's already played very safe. He's got a 3rd barracks before 3rd command center. That tells us Byun is going to play very aggressive in the follow-up. Shields and +1 is on the way. Marines come in. They grab a tumor, an Overlord, and that is a big arc of Queens. Doesn't want to mess with that. Very good choice to just pull back. So tanks are building. He's got the reactor there. We expect just a huge timing attack. I wonder if he opens this path and then just rallies through to here. That would be actually a cool way of doing it. Dark should be taking this 4th in the bottom in the near future. Right now, he's just focused on getting up into Roach. Oh, he's going Roaches? Oh, Roaches are so good at defending 2 base all-ins, and this is a 2 base all-in from Byun. Oh, Dark has a fucking spidey sense for this. I'm telling you guys, he did this on Berlingrad versus Byun in GSL. It was GSL, wasn't it? Dark versus Byun. No, it was Su versus Byun. Same situation. Byun went for the 3 racks into 5 racks, just 2 base push. And Su went Mass Roach, which is so good at shutting it down. So it's really unfortunate for Byun to be running into that. On the other hand, I mean, the worker count for Dark still kind of sucks. So that is the one thing that's kind of going for him, is that Dark's not going to have the overwhelming swarm of Roaches that a lot of players would have. But he is already into Ravager production. If you siege up and he just drops those early Biles by surprise, that's a big problem. He's got 10 Queens, almost all of which are up front right now, and that's really giving Byun the illusion that it's a Zergling style, when it's clearly not. And look at this, Dark comes in, he now knows it's a 2 base all-in. Dark's already on 60 workers, and he is about to just hold down the Roach key, right? Roach speed, 1-1 upgrades. I guess they're not done yet. If Byun can hit in the next 50 seconds before Roach speed kicks in, and he's going to definitely hit before 1-1 finishes. He's got 2 tanks, he's got 41 Marines, there's not that much Roach Ravager yet. The Lings don't have any upgrades. This could work out. This actually could kill him, just because Dark's opening has been kind of inefficient. He got tricked by that early Marine push into building a lot of Zerglings. It slowed down his drones. He lost a few Overlords early on. He's lost 3 Overlords and a bit of creep. The tanks are here, but he's going to siege the tanks way too far forward. That's what I was talking about. He didn't know he was up against Ravagers, and that's exactly what he needed to avoid. So now it turns into basically just a mass Marine all-in. Does he have the numbers? I think he might. Holy crap, the Marines are doing pretty good. The Queens are getting gunned down. That tank is somehow still alive, but no, it's just enough there for Dark, and Dark does push him back. Very well done, man. Killing those 2 tanks is so huge, and I do think Byun should have saved a scan. He should have had a scan to see what he was moving into. That was very lazy of him. He now is going to build a 3rd on location, But you can see that's a bit of an afterthought. He's going to use maybe Liberator Harass, do some Marine drops, try and fight his way back into the game. But it feels like from here, Dark should be able to frustrate him. And you know what? I'm like, man, how does Dark always have the right build? But let's think about it. I said, hey, I think Byun's broken. I think it's a good game just to do a 2-base all-in because you clearly can't, you're not confident playing late game. The way you did it last game was not good. It was not bad. It just was not what he needed to do. He clearly got frustrated and was confused about how to use that army and just kind of went, I don't know how to win. And he, you know, Dark kind of exhausted him mentally. So I think Dark realized, hey, yeah, you're probably just going to all-in me now. After that game, the way you just threw your army into mine, like, Dark's probably got a big smile on his face. He's like, I know you don't want to play late game now. And that's why he picked this Roach style. She just says, yep, any all-in you do is going to get shut down. Okay, good tank lib setup, not something you want to attack into as Dark. I like that kind of ambush move for Byun. 2-2's on the way. And look at this. Byun's going to try and gun down some of this Roach Ravager. The libs are like, hey, dude, what's up? Oh, he tries to drop some Marines behind it. The libs dodge the biles. Oh, sick plays by Byun. He does eat a bile on the tank, but I think it might be okay for now. Oh, here comes a lot more Roaches, though. 1-1 upgrades versus just +1. Biles don't quite manage to connect with both the libs. One of the libs does fall, but so does a lot of the Roaches. The tanks have gone down, though. Byun here desperately pushing in forwards, but I don't think he can continue. He's got to fall back. His lib's going to split off to harass, but there's great creep spread all over, and that's probably going to spot that coming. He's going to have to stim away, pull back his units up. Sight blocker there is a bit of an issue there, and gets a medevac. Doesn't quite take out the tank. But I think the sight block is very scary areas to fight into with the medevac spotting overhead. The 2-2 upgrades and now the Hive coming in. Dark is miles ahead in this game. His 4th is up. If he can take the gases there as well, get another 10 drones out, which he's building right now, then he is looking large and in charge and even preemptively builds a Spore knowing there's Liberators out on this map. All right, Byun's going to need to drag this one back up from way behind, man. The Bio stimming on forwards. Ooh, Roach Ravager jumps on top, but they chase into the tanks, and that's where things get mighty efficient for the Terran player. Biles do zone back pretty well. Liberator takes out 3 or 4 workers, but the Spore Crawler being a bit of a cheeky dickhead. Dark, usually pretty quick on the re-siege as well. That's why, yeah, he's going to lose that lib. He'll get 2 more drones, and it does go down. Dark is so crisp on that, and look at that. He says, you know what? If you turtle up and get enough bio tank and max out with 2-2, I could lose this game. I'll just swap to Banelings. Just swap to a more fluid style. Yeah, I'm heavy on Roach Ravager, but we're just going to stop building those units now. Go back into Zerglings. Get melee. We've already got +2 Carapace. Go towards maybe Ultras from here is usually what he'd... I mean, he doesn't have a Hydra Den. Ultras is all that makes sense, but I've said that about 5 times about Dark today, and then he's gotten to Hive Tech and decided, you know what, I'll start a Hydra Den and go for a really slow lurker transition. He goes for Vipers to start. That's going to wreck the siege tanks. Nice double drop on the south. The creep will spot it coming, and already Dark was spreading his units out. He knew this was an option. Great awareness by Dark. He was even a few seconds slower on that. Like, if he hadn't preemptively split that, you can kill 4 or 5 drones, a queen, pick up, get some damage. As it is, he's just getting stopped. And look at these tentacles coming forwards, man. Byun is the Mind Flayer. He's just got his tentacles leaning on forward. He's like, oh, yeah, let me probe you. Just gonna fucking slowly grow across the map. And Byun, he's gonna have to fight really hard. The way he wins this game definitely ends with him bleeding out of his nostril and maybe making some Dragon Ball Z sounds. Maybe some of those ones, you know. I was watching Stranger Things last night, guys. Can't tell if you can tell. But when you cast a series this long, you start just randomly talking about whatever's in the back of your mind, and yeah, that's it. Any TV shows you guys would recommend, let me know in the comments. I will get back to commentating, don't worry. Byun kind of is forced to turtle up to late game. He's trying to go ghosts. And it is awkward for Dark leveraging his army supply. Roachling, Bane, Ravager. It's a bit of an awkward comp. But if he gets the right Blinding Clouds, he could do a bust. And he might be able to overwhelm. A lot of Marauders are up front, though. Alright, Roach is roaming. Catching that drop, keeping it back, but at least the tentacles have been pushed back. These ones up the top, though, the creep's still spreading on forwards. 80 drones is not the craziest economy. Still no Ultra Cavern, just Adrenal Glands, Carapace, Spire, +2 melee starts up, so Dark's been very good about his upgrades. I like the way Byun's drop is just like, am I going this way? Am I going that way? Am I going this way? Am I going that way? And Dark's like, yeah. I'm waiting for you, boy. I'm waiting for you. Pathogen Glands is on the way. Hive has been spotted as well as that Spire. Going straight to Broodlords might be the play. I mean, you know that he can't beat you if you get Mass Broodlord and Festa Viper out, right? It'd be so sick if Byun just turns it up a notch and just plays late game, but properly next time. He's just like, oh, no, I'm actually not going to headbutt my Thors into a choke point of fungal Broodlord. It'll be fine. Ling's running in. I don't think they can kill the command center, though. Oh, he gets it. Not bad. I mean, it's not too bad for Byun either. That does cost money. The Vipers parasitic bomb the medevac. They're now gathering energy. 10 seconds. That medevac needs to leave right now or it's dead. And parasitic bomb energy has been made available. Dark is going to throw some bees. Nicolas Cage inside that medevac. Oh, no, not the bees! And he does go down. I watched Pig on the plane back from Valencia recently, guys. That was a fun movie. A bit weird, wasn't it? I think the thing that made me most uncomfortable the whole movie was I was like, dude, take a fucking shower. And he's just like, no, I'm going to take a shower. I'm like, dude, seriously, please take a shower. It was uncomfortable. He was so dirty, man. Anyways, Tank here should be able to slow down these roaches, but Dark is an annoying boy. And he's going to pick off more SCVs. We get that command center as well. He sees anything. Any command center is a goal for this horny roach. And the roaches of Dark. Get another command center cancel. At least the main one does end up continuing. And he's got more command centers building. Byun very good about doing that. Starts Cloak as well. I think he must have already gone. The enhanced shockwaves. Why would he? Oh, Cloak before enhanced shockwaves. I guess it's Zerg. EMP radius is not as important, but still a very good upgrade. Oh man, these Ravages are wasting a lot of supply. That's the one thing I don't like about Dark's army. 11 Ravages chewing up 33 supply. He's only got 4 Queens, so it's kind of good that he doesn't have a lot of supply wasted in Queens. Some Zergs end up with like 14 Queens in late game. It's 28 supply that's not in Workers and not in Army. It's actually a really big liability. Like some Queens are good for Transfuse, but I mean 4 Queens is obviously on the much lighter end. But since he has, what, 6 hatcheries, I guess he doesn't really feel he needs the lava. He's got 36 stacked up, which is enough. Double Spire, Nidus Worm. I don't really know what he can Nidus out. Only really Ling Bane, because we don't have Ultras and we don't have Lurkers, and those are the 2 power units that you can pop out in someone's base and really tear their shit up. I guess Ultras isn't really great because Ghosts are out. Bushworld Adventures. A-tier show, Twitch chat. A-tier. Alright. Here we go. Big move for Dark. I think that army's tanky enough. As long as it's not mega clumped when it's hit by Banelings, it should be fine. Sensor Tower and SCV goes down there. Dark says, dude, I'm the king of late game now. Didn't you hear? Didn't you hear, bro? Now remember, this map is especially nasty for the late game Zerg normally, because the only extra base they get is this gold base. So it doesn't have as many minerals as a normal base, only 6 patches. It's got 4,500 gas, maybe 5,000 minerals on it. I say 5,000, I don't actually know the number, guys. It's got 3 1,800 mineral patches and 3 900 mineral patches. You guys do the math? I don't know. 5, probably like, I don't know, 9,000 minerals, maybe? Alright, okay, watch out, watch out. He's got no tanks, and he's very clumped. Bit of a weird fight for Byun. I think he could have pre-spread that and had much better success. Yeah, I think that was a little sloppy for Byun. I think it's fine. Cost for cost, it's still okay. He's up 3,000 in the resources lost. He's got a triple Marauder run by in the top. That's very cute. I think he's kind of realized I have too many Marauders and I want to trade them out. Which is not a bad call. Fungal will damage that medevac, but not quite kill it. Survives on 10 hit points. Those 3 Marauders will go down. Building armor, +2 vehicle plating, +3 vehicle weapons on the way. How many factories have we got, guys? He's got a lot of factories, actually. And adjustment from last game. He's got extra reactors. So he wants to shove through in the late game with Thor Hellbat again. The difference in his setup, guys, is that he actually has lots of reacted factories now. So having 2 reacted factories means he can queue at least 4 Hellbats every 21 seconds. Or if he swaps every factory to Hellbat production, it'll be like a crazy number. But he does need to remember Blue Flame, Smart Servos, the medevac upgrade even, all that cool shit. He's getting the second starport, the fusion core. So Byun is getting set up, but he's basically just saying, hey, if I have enough Hellbats, it'll be good. We've got Ghost, Thor, Hellbat moving up through the middle. Pretty sick army. There are 8 Broodlords out, which is not a very high number. Ooh, big run by in the bottom. Command Center dies. Oh my god, huge win. No planetaries. Byun being a bit lazy on the turtle stuff. And that's because he's trying to rush straight to the late game. And this is giving Dark avenues to do damage. 18 workers go down. I don't think he should replace them. I think if you're going to race to late game, you know, go for it. You should still put a planetary down here. Or at least push down this side with your main army, which I guess is his main focus. Neural has been upgraded. Infestors in the open. Good fungal bile combo. But 3 Infestors do go down as well as they rally on the wrong side. Medevacs could save those Thors, but Byun is not doing the fancy maneuvers as much right now. It's only 8 Broodlords, man. I feel like Dark does not have that critical mass of Broodlords. It's still mostly just Ravagerling Bane. But I think Byun's in the mindset of we're going into the same game as last game, and it's really not there yet. It's a handful of Broodlords and a shit ton of ground army. Still a lot of Ravager Bane, and the 10 Ravagers are kind of funny because, like I said, 30 supply in a unit that when push comes to shove, the Ravager sucks, but it licks poop. I don't know what other metaphor we want to use there. Those are both really creepy, weird ones. I don't know what. The point is, it's not great. But if he could just fungal bile a Thor Bedevac, fungal bile a tank, just keep biling units, he can get value out of them. And I think Dark doesn't want to just throw the units away. He's like, no, I want to get value. And when they die, I'll replace them. But I'm not going to throw them away. Will remain to be seen whether that's a good decision or not. Once again, mass attack on the bottom, and Byun's command center is just completely undefended right now. Byun's army is in a big ball. So what got him killed in the last game was clumping everything in a big ball and thinking he could A-move his opponent and then basically just focus on EMPing things. That's literally what got him killed last game, and he's doing it twice as hard as in the last game. So, I mean, you know, where are the nukes? Why is his army not pre-split? Why hasn't he built any planetaries or turrets defending the angles? Oh! He gets some snipes on the Broodlords, but he's going to cop a fungal. Oh, great EMPs! Oh my lord, he actually gets some great fungals off there. Vipers do abduct a few of them though. A couple of the ghosts do go down. He will take out that queen. That one Spore Crawler saving grace there of Dark. The Thors coming in the bottom side, an awkward angle for both sides. I mean, Banelings just don't do good versus Thors. There's not that much firepower behind these Ravagers. Looks like the spines on the bottom will defend the Hellbats, which is actually kind of cute and adorable. Dark is down 7,000 resources. I feel like the way Byun's playing this, he probably wants to make this game as messy as possible. So Dark can't do all that micro he did in the previous game. Denying the gold base is going to be a good start. I mean, I don't really know what else he can do movement-wise. I really think nukes, starting to nuke back the creep on all sides, is going to be a huge way of moving forward here. The Ravagers land some big biles, but you see how quickly they crumble, and it feels like Dark says, okay, I need some proper units. Those are just too shit right now. And tries to get some of these ghosts out of here. EMP on that last Infestor. Pops it as well. The ghost getting more active, and you can see he's 10,000 resources ahead of the units lost in the messy situations. The ghosts are finding value, but the Ravagers are being replaced. The drone count is being reduced by building spores and spines right now. He's trying to kind of reinforce and retake this area as Dark. He's already got spores up there. And Dark is going to get that crazy Broodlord count. He's on 11, going on 18 Broodlords. He's also building 6 queens. So I think he's decided, hey, let's get some queens out just so I can rebuild the creep, transfuse my units, and have a little bit of just a kind of gas-free, pure mineral anti-air. I mean, pushing into the middle like this is crazy. The way Byun's moving his army, to me, speaks of a man who has zero respect for what happened to him in the last game and just wants to shove for the win. I don't think this is going to work for him. Fungal's landing on those, but great EMPs. He does zone out all the Infestors now, but a lot of the ghosts have already fallen, and there's still some... Oh man, the ghosts are starting to fall though. But he gets rid of a lot of the Broodlords. There's only 9 Broods left. The Thors are not all in high impact payload. 1 or 2 of them is still in splash damage mode, and that is an issue. 3 of the Thors are not in single fire target mode. They're in splash damage mode. Big oversight from Byun right now, and he's not fixing it, guys. He's got smart servers, so it should fix very quickly when he decides to fix it, but he has not fixed it just yet. But you know what? I thought it wouldn't work. Byun says tempo, momentum, shove, shove, shove. Do not give him time. Just shove on through, and remember, he's got so much more Hellbat reinforced, guys. He's accidentally just queued 7 Reapers. Those are meant to be Hellbats. but he accidentally selected his barracks, so he's queued up 7 Reapers rather than 7 Hellbats, which means his Hellbat rally does not exist. That could get him in trouble. Neurals are coming in here. Fungal neural combo. But, man, the Infestors are dying as quickly as they get the Neurals down. Oh, man, a lot of the Infestors are going down. The Broods are dropping like flies. And it looks like Byun is going to be able to shove through with the mass Hellbat rally. He says, as long as I have Hellbats clearing the Broodlings, they just get so little done. As long as I don't have tanks friendly firing my own units, we can just shove through. And I thought that was not going to get it done, but it really did. It really did work out in the end. Byun is going to force us to game 5. I have no idea what map is left. Is it Cosmic Sapphire? Let's go. All right, guys. Dark did get overwhelmed in the late game that time. Just the momentum a bit too much, and perhaps he should have thrown those Ravagers away earlier to get that army up sooner. I'm not quite sure, but he did get pushed through that game. This is Dark in the top right of Tropical Sacrifice. Byun in the bottom left. Now, it feels like Dark's had a bit of a better kind of idea in the opening of the last few games, in my opinion. On the other hand, though, I mean, remember that he was going Roaches, but his early macro was not that amazing. Byun had some really cool, like, Overlord hunting, adaptations and adjustments. So he made Dark think there was some crazy attack coming out by moving his Marines all the way across the map, killing an Overlord, then running back and joining up for his 2-1-1. It was a cool opening. I mean, to go 5 racks, you know, Marine tank all in and get your first 2 tanks biled is a disaster. But, hey, that's how it often goes. Dark's macro, not that crisp early on. His micro, though, and his clutch Ravager usage keeps him alive. Maybe costs him in the end game, though. This is a command center first into double gas. So this is CC first into a tech build. Byun is not opening with pressure. But he's saying, Dark, please play the Dark of old. Please play your really shitty executed openings that are really inefficient. Please, please, please. The problem is, Dark is on another level right now. And the reason he is his openings have gotten better. Even though his link speed is late, his focus on building drones early is so much better than it was a little while ago. And look at this. He goes 27 Overlord, 27 drone, and then goes for the 3rd hatchery. He also takes the straight line 3rd hatchery, which I think is great. I've been going for the top one just to try and get creep out in front of it, and then taking this as my 4th, but I think this makes perfect sense. You could even take the 4th in the bottom. Not a bad move at all. Now, Factory and Reactor are on the way for Byun. With this build, you can go a really quick 3rd command center if you choose. I wonder if he does or doesn't. I mean, getting the double orbitals so quick costs you a lot. I like that he drops the mules in the main in case Zerglings run in right now, because of course Byun has no scouting, likes to play that blind craft game. Overlord saw the command center timing, so Dark realizes that he's not got anything to worry about. He's like, oh, this is CC first. Okay, greed, greed, greed all the way. Double Hellion production and the starport starts up. And yeah, so it looks like Byun's not going to rush out the 3rd CC. Queen in the main, good inject timing. Already got 2 tumors on the natural. Great Overlord spread as well. Look at this, guys. You can see he's already sending his Overlord out here, out here. Where's this one going? Out here. Really good vision he's setting up. I do think this Overlord here is a little lacking because Hellions could run in on the bottom, so you want to actually shuffle it even further out down here, potentially. But very nice to see. Cloaked Banshees are there. Hellions driving around the natural right now. I think he was just looking to see if there was any Overlords sneaking in behind, but it is still on the pillar. And all right, very nice play by Byun to start things off. Hellions will start poking, looking to slow down the creep spread, which already has a great head start due to the command center first, and the fact that the Hellions are delayed a little bit because of that. All right, here we go. Queens are there. He's fully off gas. It is Dark at this point. He stayed on a bit longer, so he's like, hey, I've got 50 gas. If I need a Baneling Nest, I can drop it instantly. That's all I need for now. Let's focus on the minerals. Queens are well split. Now, this is where it's interesting because Dark, I think he doesn't split his queen group, and indeed he doesn't. No, he's just got all 4 queens on one group right now. So all 6 queens on one group, but he's so good at just jumping around and manually getting them to do stuff. And oh, that late link speed is going to get punished. Byun looking to punish it, but he doesn't fire with all the Hellions. A little bit of a misclick there. He does get 4 drones to start. Oh, good pull on those drones. So the only one got hit by the volley. Link speed's still not done for another 10 seconds. The drones are getting pulled here, and if he can get 1 or 2 more big volleys off, it could be big. Oh, 1 or 2 more shots could be so devastating. 11 drones, not bad. I don't think it was quite what he was looking for, but mining time, 11 drones, missed injects. This does add up quite a bit. And guess what? That distracted him from building spores. So the Banshee moves in, and that is going to deny a lot of mining and pick off a lot of workers. Beautiful play here for Byun. Meanwhile, his Hellions are getting chased back. His third command center, not especially early, but dude, the damage is so good. Oh man, and one more drone. Oh, he damages his 2 drones, but doesn't quite kill him. He's going to get up into that natural. The Queen's Head not split. Lazy play by Dark. He should have anticipated this, and Byun will be able to just pull on back. He's actually going to go back through Spore range a little bit there. But the Spore does accidentally unburrow, a bit of a mistake. That Spore moving around the backside. New Banshee comes in here, sees the Spore repositioning, and just pulls back. Good control by Byun so far, but he should move around and get out of there with this Banshee as quickly as possible. You got to leave now, man. You got to leave or you're going to be stuck. Lots of mining time. Oh, he loses it. Okay. Byun is going to scan at the front, take out a few of these active tumors. And that's not bad, but the Queens will replace those almost instantly. And doesn't actually focus the other active tumor, so not the most effective play for him. Lair is on the way at 6 minutes. That's an incredibly late Lair. Versa player is already floating their third out, has 1-1 on the way. Stims finished. Shields will be starting up momentarily. So I really feel like this is a good start for Byun. He's got good tempo. Dark's 4th is late. The fact that Dark still has every queen on one control group is one of the biggest things slowing him down in these opening stages. And it's a big part of why if a Terran plays excellent in the early game, I feel like they very consistently get ahead versus Dark. And that is the big problem for him mechanically with just how he plays the game. If a queen moves there, it can kill that Banshee. If Dark just A moves to there. So Dark is in a bit of an awkward position. He only hit 66 drones at almost 7 minutes. His double Evo's there. He hasn't even started Bane speed. I mean, this is so hard to deal with the Marine follow-up and everything like that. Armory is going to finish very early as well, so he's actually going to add some Hellbats to these Marines, try and snip the front off the creep in the middle of the map. It's a big map, so there's still a lot of time here for Dark to stabilize and get back in the game. It's never over till it's over. But I've got to say, there's a huge weakness there. Dark's initial early game was good, but the moment there was some good multi-prong and the Hellions diving in, abusing the fact that his link speed's been late. Where's his units? He's got no production. Oh no, Byun, he's got a few Marines in his main, but literally just a really regular Ling run by comes in. Good Marine stutter step. He shouldn't lose the game, but my God. Oh, where was his production? That was really a gap in production gets abused there. Byun! Byun! His Banshee goes back. Oh no! He's losing it. What are we doing, mate? Looks like there was a Zergling in the third that was distracting him. 15 workers go down. I mean, these players are tired. It's been a grueling series, but mistakes like this cannot be allowed to happen. Byun is such a fast 4th. He should have been so ahead, but losing 15 workers there puts Dark back in the driver's seat. He hasn't started his carapace. His Baneling speed, though, is now going to be finishing. He's got Baneling run-bys that'll be coming in. This Widow Mine actually should be able to stop them, but no, it's going too far out, so it doesn't see them cross. Ah, that's a big problem for Byun. Uh-oh. That Overlord still is back there as well. And a really good Ling run by for Dark, but, you know, if Byun hadn't missed a round of Marines, he would have just had 10 Marines at home there. So to have nothing anywhere nearby at home except 3-4 Marines popping out in his main was clear sign that he'd messed up, and Byun a bit slow to react. Nope, he does get it. Okay. He loses some Marines, but better than losing the SCVs. Just loses a depot in it and then 2 SCVs there. Not too bad. 4th base is up. Byun's got a 2nd factory on the way. His 1st factory on the reactor, building Widow Mines. I'd like to see him keep some drops going. I really feel like pulling back into just one area is going to make Dark's job a little bit easier. We need to keep kind of the split focus going, the harassment and all of that sort of stuff. But Dark's got so much map control now, map vision. He's got some good creep spreading down the south. Active tumors in the north, the south, the middle. Double drop on the north, a very good idea. Should be able to deny the 5th base, or actually it's the 6th base. This is the 5th base. Dark going triple Evo chamber, Hydraling Bane, Infestation Pit, instantly cancels the hatchery, just gives that one up. This is beautiful play by Dark so far. He is in a very good position, but a 4-base Terran should not be scoffed at. Byun is also going for a 5th command center right now, so I think Byun is just saying, look, let's just play late game. I'm happy to go there. I killed you last game. I don't think you can stop it. Those Hellbats are going to wreck you. Oh. Okay, Hellbat Marine there. We've got the Marines in the top side as well. 6th base goes up in the middle now. Hive is on the way as well as the Lurker Den. Extra upgrades starting to come in. It is 2-2 versus 1-1 right now in Terran favor. Byun, he's got a double drop on the top, but got to be careful with that. Gets out those 2 tumors. Just pick up. Could drop the main base, but not a good idea. There's a shitload of Zerg waiting for him. And he's just doing a good job of controlling the middle of the map, at least right now. 5th command center coming up will be a big boon. And is he on 8 racks yet? Yeah. We've got the triple tech lab. Marauder concussive shell starts up. There's a drop on the south, a double drop on the north, and this army moving forward trying to bait Dark into some bad fights. I don't think this is a big enough army for Byun to win this fight, so we should be mentally ready to get out of there. Oh, nice moves by Dark. Hydra's just waiting for this. Oh, very well played. A few Hydras do go down, so it's not free. But as I said, you need to be mentally ready to pull back with this army, who's never going to beat the army front on. But he saves all the Marines, and that's exactly what he does. He was ready for it. Oh, great Widow Mine hits. Another Widow Mine there is going to get deactivated at least, or defused as I often call it, if it gets set off by just 1 or 2 guy. The Marines coming into that main base. Oh, very well done. He gets the Queens and the Spores. And, okay, it means there's only 1 medevac for the way up, but still, that's pretty good. Dropping Marines on top of the Banelings. The Savage Byun trying to set off Banelings with individual Marine bombs on them. I mean, that is some truly savage leadership, but it can be highly cost efficient, as if each Marine sets off 2 Banelings, that's a massively positive trade. Marines there do a nice little drippy droppy. That will go down now, and that will shut down a little bit of his vision on the map. We've got a lot of Marines in the top. About 20 there, or maybe like 17, something like that. Marine Bio moving down the south side as well. Dark is getting kind of choked back into his corner. On that note, though, he's got lurker upgrades on the way. He's got a lot of lurkers on the way. He's already up to 7, a lot of them on this base, and Seismic Spine starts. He's already got Adaptive Talon, so I don't think he's dying. I don't think there's any way that Dark is dying. But does Byun care? He's got a 5th base up the front. He's going to take a 6th base maybe down the bottom as well, I would imagine. He's into Ghost production, 3/3 upgrades. Byun has a lot of nice pieces to the puzzle. I do want to see him keep clearing the creep, but oh, look at that. He's got great Widow Mine spread on the south. If only he could lure the Ling Bane down there. Widow Mines just set up like traps all over the bridges on this map. I find this map really oppressive. I hate playing this in Zerg vs. Terran because of these bridges and these little sight blockers like here, and there's just bits of like nasty choke point everywhere. It feels very hard to kind of cover everywhere, and it also feels hard to attack up the ramps into your opponent's economy. So I do think it's a really good job of Byun to utilize those features of the map, and Dark is kind of just hanging in his corner, trying to do what he can do. Banelings roll past most of those Widow Mines. 2 of them are still active and haven't fired just yet. 1 of them is still ready there. That base gets denied. Marine drop in the north has to pull on back. Queens are slowly damaging and tickling away at that, but the Nidus Worm is going to win the game. And what a way, guys. This is how the finals always finishes. Wait, he notices it. He notices it. He sends 2 ghosts. Is that enough, though? Because he's maxed out, basically. He doesn't have much else popping out. Is there anything inside the Nidus Worm, though? I don't know, man. Yeah, he's put the lurkers in, and that's going to be enough. I mean, at least Byun's aware of it before it gets up, and he's got ghosts there, so he might be able to do something. The Marines need to pick up, I think, or at least run, spread. The Marauders and the Ghosts take some big Banelings to the face. They take one for the team. Ghosts are here, and they get off some nice snipes. Oh, man, one of them gets detonated. The Lings on top of the Ghost. Very nicely done. Good play by Byun. He's just got to try and deal with the Lings right now. He's got to just get everything back into his main and defend. He's going to lose a bunch of barracks that are building reactors, or that are on reactors, as well as the factory on the reactor, but he hasn't lost his Tech Lab barracks, which is his more important barracks. And there's still plenty of Ghost energy in here, so it looks like he should be able to deal with this. Dark's flooding units in. This can get really cost inefficient for Dark. For the moment, he's interrupting basically all the snipes, and this could be game winning as well because he's attacking the front at the same time. That's an orbital. That's not a planetary. One Nidus gets cleaned up. There's another one open. The planetary on the right does take some units distraction. The SCVs are going to need to abandon this base really quickly. The Lings have not got on the economy just yet. A lot of the SCVs will go down. Doesn't matter, though. He clears up the Nidus Worm in the main base. Byun still on 65 workers. That is an acceptable economy. That is not that bad. 65 workers is absolutely okay. And Dark threw a lot of resources away attacking there. I mean, it's kind of standard trading for a normal Zerg vs. Terran game, which this is. 18,000 loss for the Zerg, 12,000 for the Terran. But there's still Widow Mines here. Drops could still deny these bases. Dark hasn't really reasserted his map control at all. It looks like these Widow Mines are being a bit of a nuisance. I don't know where those 4 drones went down. Maybe just transferring through one of these Widow Mines. Yeah, it looks like that guy got it. Okay, so Byun should not take the top base. He's got to just cement these bottom bases, get planetaries up, and defend all of that. He's going to snipe down the Overseer. Very well done. Little does he know there's still an Overlord here for Dark, perving in the backside. But if he just puts a building there or something, he should be okay. He could put turrets down here as well to zone it out. He pushes through the middle. It looks like a lot of Lings went down there to some of these Widow Mines. So I think Dark's Ling Bane army just walked through that Widow Mine field. The Ghosts are starting to get some good trades, and Dark's very low on cash right now. Dark, like I said, has not re-established map control. He did not get creep out front, and it looks like those Widow Mines that were able to fire time and again have racked up so much value. This hatchery gets cancelled, which puts this hatchery also in jeopardy. Dark cancels it, and Dark realizes right now he's so vulnerable. He's going to keep sending Lings across. He's going to try and do another Lurker Nidus, but immediate reaction by Byun those sharp eyeballs, and this will notify him of the Overlord. The Lings pairing up with it could keep the Nidus alive for a little bit, but there's so many ghosts nearby. Anything you pop out, it's a one-way trip. Dark wisely does not unload from the Nidus Worm, but you got to bring the medevacs over Byun. There we go. And he gets rid of that Overlord from the early game that he didn't know about for so very long. Widow Mines still peppered everywhere. 15 kills, 5 kills, 4 kills, 0 kills. All these other game-ending ones up there are finally cleared up, so don't think it's too bad. There's also a 0-kill Widow Mine hiding in the grass. Dark, he's got 3-3 upgrades on the way for his range and carapace. Melee's already there. Adrenal's done as well. He doesn't have any Vipers, but why would you get Vipers if there's no tanks, right? I think a couple of Infestors is game-ending against this composition as well. If you do happen to just have a few Infestors left around, I mean, you can catch these big balls with like a fungal and it can change the course of the game. Right now, a Lurker, a few Spines is not going to cut it. Because look at that, he just snipes in with like 6 different ghosts. You can't cancel all of those. The Spines will go down. He sees the army here. This army pulls back, and the army on the top says, let's take advantage of that. Scan a little bit too far forward. He does leave one tumor intact, and he won't be realizing that straight away either. And here we go. The Bio Ghost on the south side, way too far out there. He tries to save some of the units, but that was a very bad movement. The Widow Mines do kill some of the Zerglings. The army on the top is going to go back in. He needs to scan that tumor and get rid of that one. I know it's my OCD talking there, but uh-oh, misrally. Misrally. Those ghosts do gather back up with these guys here. He's going to try and do some cloaky cloak, but the Spores out front, so that is not going to work out. No, get out of there. I think Byun might be getting a little bit of a stiffy right now. He's building 3 more barracks. So I think he's realizing his marine production's maybe a bit low after losing some barracks earlier. Wants to round out that production. He's just doing it with Biomine Ghost right now. But look at that good engagement by Dark. The drop might want to go in the main. Army on the bottom's also veering around looking for these snipes. Dark's just going to shove. Dark, now the one who says, I'm the one who shall click with my gigantic Lurker dick. And there is not much that shoots up there, so Liberators are going to be a godsend. And there's 2 more popping out right now. They might help Byun hold on, but he's going to lose a lot of infrastructure. The command center is going down. His +2 vehicle plating will fall on the armory. Snipes will come in from those ghosts. The Overseers all set up with pervert mode. Libs, though, are sieged up in some pretty good positions. That top base is in trubs, though. Planetary definitely on struggle street. Byun's going to have to very slowly clear this out, and that gives Dark a lot of time to clear the command centers to do massive damage. You just got to be real patient. Don't walk into the Lurkers. There we go. Byun stumbles into the Lurkers a little bit. This top base taking a lot of damage as well. Dark is relatively all in with this push. The Liberators are starting to clear him up, man. But look at that. He's being a cheeky dickhead, as he does so darned well. The Liberators are trying to clear them, but the Lurkers are moving around. Byun being patient, though. He's like, don't throw the game away. Just be patient. And he should be able to defend up inside his main base. Meanwhile, Overseers do get taken out there. The Banelings are trying to pull back along with these Lurkers. There's an army on the top. SCV's even fighting there, but the Lurkers take him down. The Ghosts are like, oh god. Does try to spread. The Banelings detonate and take out 2 or 3 of the Ghosts. And here we go. Lurkers are going to try and shove up. That ain't going to work out. And I think Byun may have won this game just by not panicking and staying patient. Yes, he's losing infrastructure. He's losing bases. He's lost like 4 or 5 orbitals. And he's actually forgotten about those Lurkers back there. Doesn't realize they're there. But he keeps this top base, he keeps this base, he keeps this base, and that is not the critical damage Dark was looking for. Dark is at 35,000 resources, lost to 25,000, and he's losing this Lurker versus Ghost war. Byun is not having to go to the mega late game, and yet he's not able... Dark is not able to staunch the flow. He's not able to force him there. I think he needs to go to Infestor Broodlord. But right now, Dark's just trying to survive. He doesn't have enough Banelings. He has no Banelings, in fact. His Lurkers are getting gunned down by Marauder Tank Ghost. A few Marauders do go down there, but look at that. Double Lib Siege on the north. Going to deny the economy. Dark, as always, his multitasking intact. It never falls apart. It never fails. But he just does not have the numbers. And Byun, at the end of an epic Game 5 series, says, I am Byun. Get shat on. I am beyond. I'm so tired. That was a crazy series, but well played to be on there. I mean, that was insane efficiency. Beautiful play from both sides. We thought Byun was broken after that game 3, where he was ahead, and then he just attacked really bad in the end game. Terrible fights, but he rallied, he fought back, he showed some real grit, some determination, and I'm really friggin' proud of him. So GG, well played, Byun. He is your ESL North American Weekly Champion.